You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tasha Vigeshtak, leis an fod curly Rebel Rebel, le Rory McCarson.
Well, how you all doing, folks? What's the crack? Welcome along. Just look at these comments here. Jesus, you think I never show up the way as I getting on, freaking out and all there, but Jesus, 10 minutes. Does anybody else have children in the house that have to get sorted out and stuff to be done before you can actually get down and do something? It's all well, you all sit in the house waiting on me with your remotes and your TV, waiting to carry it and sitting waiting to watch the show, and I'm pretty rushing about trying to get all this shit done. But yeah, folks, welcome along. Thanks very much for joining me. Good wee few listening in so far. So if you are watching the show on Facebook, please hit the wee share button of your. You can share it around any of your sort of Republican groups, rebel groups, Celtic groups you're part of. Any of your friends and family, send it all around them, please, and we'll get as many people watching as possible. Again, if you're watching on our main stream on YouTube, you're very welcome along. Cheers for tuning in. You can copy and paste the link from YouTube if you want, and send it on to your socials as well. Also, welcome to everybody watching on Twitter today. Always great to see the Twitter following building up week on week, which is brilliant. So give us a wee retweet if you can. Much appreciated. And again, for everybody that's come to watch the show later on, maybe tonight, tomorrow, during the week, whatever, you're very welcome. Thanks very much for coming back and watching the show. Always much appreciated. Right, so we'll just jump into these few comments. We'll start here. Let's see. There's Celine. First one on. Celine, what is the crack? Jesus, you're normally here about 1:30, 1:45. Something definitely wrong today. Have you been missing the show or something? Let's see. Marty, where is he? What the thing was this here at 1:03? Like, Jesus Christ, come on. I did say if I wasn't going to be here, I would give you all prior notice. Let's see, Celine, right here. Yeah, I can't believe first one here into the chat. What happened? Don't know what happened. Neil Koskin, how you doing, Neil? Good morning from America. Cheers for getting up so early, mate. Everyone here except Ro. John Boy, yes, except all from sunny Lanzarote. Just touched down in time. Well, John Boy has sent me a picture, but it hasn't came through yet, so you mustn't have great internet. So once the picture comes through, I'll get it on the screen for you, just so we can all be very jealous of John Boy, who's over there in Lanzarote now. Derek, yep, still in bed. Carla, maybe he slept in today. Listen, Carla, I do not sleep in. And tell me this here, see if you have two young kids in the house, it's impossible to sleep in, even if you want to sleep in. So, nope, not happening. Celine, he's having a chat with his mum. We all know Kate can talk for Ireland. Well, she actually isn't here today. She's away to my Uncle Dan's month's main mass. So she is, Celine. He's texting me this morning just to make sure I get into the house. Right, let's see. Robbie Hayes watching on Facebook. Up the Rebel Republicans, up the Republic. Come on yourself. Valerie, how you doing, Val? What's the crack? Hi all from lovely Dublin. James, what is the crack, James? How are you, mate? Good to see you tuning in today. Carlan, yeah, it's raining here in Glasgow. Well, it's pissing down here in West Belfast as well. But so glad to see that snow gone. And hopefully that is the end of it this year. Because I had a torrid time on Friday. Literally jackknifed the lorry and everything up on the Glenside Road, which wasn't very funny at all. Had to get the cops and all down. And to be honest, they were nice enough guys to come out and they helped us get the shovels and all dug out the back wheels so we could throw some grit down. So they aren't all bastards, but just most of them are. But these two young lads were actually all right. Right, so we're going to kick off the tunes today, folks. Say any of your questions you have, let me know. We're 3 hours here. We'll also have our guests today. The next guest coming from America, Kieran Byrne, who basically was one of the stars of lockdown for me. So he wasn't a lot of you, just like me, will have noticed Kieran. Would maybe have knew him before lockdown happened. So yeah, great to see Kieran coming on. He's going to be live on the screen today for us at about 2 o'clock. And we're going to be playing 2 exclusive songs from his literally just finished second studio album. So nobody else heard any of this stuff before except using today. So you'll be very, very privileged to hear these 2 tracks, and we'll be hearing about Kieran's second album. Right, so first song we're going to do the Streets of Gibraltar, because today there's a commemoration happening down Milltown for the Gibraltar and the Milltown martyrs. My dad's just left the house now, ground to it. It's lashing down. Anytime this commemoration's on, I've done it a few times with the flute band. We've done this commemoration, and it always is pissing down. It's not a great day, so it isn't. So if anybody's braved the weather during the commemoration in Milltown today, fair play to you. So we're going to do the original version from the Irish Brigade. This one with Mickey singing, far as I know it is. Obviously, this song was written by Mickey and Maura, so it was great song. So it was so this is the Irish Brigade with the Streets of Gibraltar kicking things off, folks, on today's Rebel Sunday. Here we go.
We'll slow down again this time. This time it's a song from Riad Farrell, Sean Savage and Daniel McCann, who died on the streets of Gibraltar. A lovely ballad written by Mickey and Maura.
They flew out of Belfast with an ambitious plan to continue the struggle to free Ireland. Maria Farrell, Sean Savage and Daniel McCann, but they died on the streets of Gibraltar. Hidden eyes had been watching, they followed his one. They knew they weren't armed, that none had a gun. We'll give them the warning, or no chance to run, for all three must die on Gibraltar. And sad are things in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walk in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. The SS stood there, so proud of their name. 3 more fleeing fighters lay dead in the streets, like the flock of martyrs in ambushed in weeds. But are three far away in Gibraltar, and sad are three homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walk in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. Buried while in prison, we watched you cry, true to all we believed in, and for the ship died, with 2 fine volunteers, Dan and Sean at your side. Hot Pardons died in Gibraltar, and sad are the homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walked in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. It happens each time that a volunteer dies. They screen off the truth with a cover of lies, but we know what happens, although it's denied. They planned the 3 deaths on Gibraltar and Saturday holes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walk in the sun, giving Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar.
Richard Gibraltar.
Yeah, folks, absolutely amazing there. There's the Streets of Gibraltar, written by Mickey McNally, or performed by the Irish Brigade a few years ago on one of their Live in Dublin albums. Fantastic live album that one's from. Right, so loads of comments flying through here, folks. I didn't get to see anything because I was putting a lot of pictures through just while we were on there. So let's see if we can go caught up. Let's see. So Derek is on. How you doing, Derek? What's the crack, mate? Cheers for tuning in today. James McMullen watching on Facebook. There's the lads from the Chancellors up early at the bay this morning as well, lads. Honyu fucking boyo, good man yourself. Deirdre Cardwell, how you doing, Deirdre? Watching on Facebook. Hugh McKenna, Hail Row, good to see you last Saturday at the big Celtic gig down Nancy Mulligan's last weekend. Fantastic weekend of events, so it was. As you know, that's why I was sort of haven't been on the last few weeks. It seems like it's forever from I've been here. But 2 big gigs over the last weekends I sort of wasn't doing, that sort of was incorporating the show. So obviously the first one was the cup final weekend down in Nancy's, which was just phenomenal. So cheers to Jared and Sean and Jerry for bringing me down to play. The crowd absolutely loved it. So did the build up to the game. Obviously then Jerry Oak straight in after the match. So you may have seen I put a few videos up. And I was playing a couple of the songs when the goals and all of them, which was really, really good, and the crowd just loved it. So hopefully they'll have me back down again, and any sort of future big Rebel or Celtic events they're having on, which be much appreciated. So yeah, that's why we haven't been over the last few weeks. And last Saturday, so they literally phoned me last minute. It was the Wednesday or something, so I could come down and basically play a bit of music beforehand before all the acts come on. And so we had John Hartson and Alan Thompson. 2 brilliant interviews, I have to say. I think so. Alan Thompson come in, and who was interviewing Chris Stanley, who you might hear on Nolan the odd time. Slightly controversial, was interviewing Alan Thompson. And I have to say, sort of, obviously with Thompson, it was more or less exactly the same sort of questions and answers and all that he gave when I interviewed him last year in Bundoran at the Celtic Festival. But I suppose like these guys, they're on like around doing this whole sort of tour of like after dinner speeches and have all these sort of yarns and stories sort of rhymed off, but it was still a really good interview. Now John Hartson's come in, and it was Kevin Sharkey from the BBC, one of the reporters. Kevin was interviewing John, very, very good interviewer, so he was. And to be honest, Big John, just a big gentleman. And I didn't realise he was that big. He's massive, so he is like. Only when I actually was seen yesterday, how I'd seen John Hartson last week and he was massive. And then Craig Gordon was standing beside him yesterday in that studio, and I was like, and you seen Craig Gordon, he was like, I was like, Jesus Christ, he's some height. But obviously I read John's book before, John Hartson's book, after he'd left Celtic and stuff, and about the whole cancer thing and how it all happened and whatever. And it was heartbreaking to read, but see, to actually sit there and watch and listen to him telling the story, it was just heartbreaking. Like, and the guy is he's so lucky to still be here now. He shouldn't be here. He busy diced with his life. So I mean, lads, any fellas out there, basically what John was saying, he's like, I shouldn't be alive here now. He left it for the guts of over a year, this lump on one of his testicles just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and he didn't do anything about it. He told his wife he went to the doctor. He didn't go to the doctor, and he just kept leaving it, and then one day he got rushed in the hospital, and basically two brain operations in the space of a couple of days. Even seeing that a big scar up close on his head is just like, it's scary stuff. So lads, don't be a man and thinking, I don't need to go to the doctor. If you see something out there, get it checked out, because it's scary potatoes to listen out there, like so it is. Right, a few more wee comments. Joanne Kieran, how you doing, Joanne? Happy Sunday. Martin Heaney, what bloody 10 you call this tape here? Shut your face, will you? I need to get myself an assistant. You're probably right there, CR, like. They'd probably be late as well. Valerie says, Ro, can't get enough of you. Was that my rant for today? Yes, it was. So I'll spray as the pleasures of doing the big There won't be another rant for a while. That their rant that day was very well needed. So it was. So that I think that one has been well cleared up now, and the person who basically it was aimed at, I think, has slightly pushed back from their initial sort of what they were doing. So that was the point of it. Paul Walsh listening today in the Rebel County of Cork. Welcome, Rebels. Looking forward to the Rock Bar Easter Sunday. A big contingent travelling from the Rebel County. We're taking over Belfast. Happy days. Well, we'll see you there. And the flyers aren't out for you, but listen, if any are about West Belfast, as soon as the parade is over, the main Sinn Féin parade on Easter Sunday, Clover are going to be upstairs in the Rock Bar. So Clover making their sort of their debut in the Rock for the Rock themselves, and then I'll be on straight after them as well. And then obviously Rebel Sunday is kicking off. Massive Rebel Sunday is kicking off downstairs. So the Rock is going to be absolutely bunged on Easter Sunday. How you? Anders over in Sweden. Hail, hail. Cheers, mate. Steph McNally as well. Tune in today. Good man yourself. James Kane. Wee bit of Shea Doodlin. Reo Hatate. Mate, James, the problem is he hasn't recorded any of it yet, so he hasn't. So see until he gets it recorded. There's only a few videos there of him sort of singing it in bars, and it's really terrible quality. Don't get me wrong, Shea is brilliant at doing this stuff, so he is. The Celtic stuff, that's why he's so in demand. But I would need him to go and record a few of these sort of tunes in the studio properly and do them, because I think he should, like, and stick them on Spotify or something. But right now, the stuff, it's all recordings from bars and gigs and all. It's just really bad quality. Right, so we'll do the next song here for you, and we'll back into a few more comments. Don't forget, Kieran Byrne is going to be live on the show, folks, from about 2 o'clock, live from Chicago this afternoon.
Freedom boys, the North has played its part. Though the day has still to come, we've never yet lost heart. For we'll fight it out until the end. We'll fight, for we cannot fail.
10 years before I saw the light of morn. A comet ship of heroes was laid from every corner of the world came sailing the 15th International Brigade. They came to stand beside the Spanish people to try and stem the rising fascist tide. Franco's allies were the powerful and wealthy. Frank Ryan's men came from the other side. Even the olives were bleeding as the battle for Madrid thundered on. Truth and love against the force of evil, brotherhood against the fascist blood. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier on the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Bob Hillard was the Church of Ireland pastor. From Killarney across the Pyrenees he came. From there he came a brave young Christian brother. Side by side they fought and died in Spain. And Tommy Woods at 17 died in Cordova. With the Vienna he learned to hold the gun. From Dublin to the Via del Rio, where they fought and died beneath the Spanish sun. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And the Irishman heard the call of Franco, joined Hitler and Mussolini too. The propaganda from the pulpit and newspapers had dug the field to gather up his crew. And the word came from the church support the Nazis. Then at last they failed again. The bishops blessed the blue shirts down in Galway as they sailed beneath the swastika to Spain. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And this song is a tribute to Frank Ryan. It's Conway and Vinnie Cody too. Peter Daly, Charlie Regan and Hugh Bonner. So many died and but never few. Danny Boyle, Leslie Brown and Charlie Dundee. Liam Tomlinson and Jim Strady from Shortstrand. Jack Nulty, Tommy Penn and Frank Conroy. Jim Foley, Tony Fox and Dick O'Neill. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made fun. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Viva la Quinta Brigada, let us remember them tonight. Viva la Quinta Brigada, let us remember them tonight.
Yeah, it's in a Christie here, folks. Christie Moore. And I think it's with Declan Sinnott, live at the Glasgow Barrowlands. That's probably like one of the best live songs I've ever heard. Just see the way the crowd in that room. I think it's with such slow ceilings and stuff. And after I watched the whole live recording of their gig, but just that particular song see whenever you hear the crowd booing, no, it's brilliant. And like Declan Sinnott with the guitar, just playing the acoustic, so it's just amazing there. What a guy, like. Right, so back to a few of your comments. So we're gonna have another 25 minutes. We're gonna have Kieran Byrne live on the show from Chicago today, folks. So it'll be great to see him on. Right, a few photos here sent in to us. Obviously you've seen there Derek just going on about that he's just touched down in Lanzarote. He has his jeans on still. But normally I'm one of them ones. And you see people getting when they go away on holiday and it's absolutely lashing down, and they literally go onto the plane with shorts and t-shirt. That's me. I don't care. I'll put shorts on, trainers on, t-shirt, maybe a hoodie or something, a light hoodie. But the way I go, I literally get on the plane in shorts and t-shirts and come home in the plane in shorts and t-shirt. Even if it's pissing down, snowing, I get into that car at the airport heading home. My holiday is finished. But yeah, Derek is just landing here in Lanzarote. So fair play. He has the Rebel Sundays t-shirt on. Good man yourself, representing Big Rose Rebel Sundays over in Lanzarote. Hopefully come over and see the guys in bar 67, mate. And see Derek has just sent the picture in as well. I seen this one he put up in Instagram last week. But he pardon me, folks, need blood nose there. He just sent me it again there. Obviously last Sunday. Derry narrowly defeated Dublin, but they all count. It was a great game. Seen the highlights of it. Obviously, I was down at it was last Saturday, was it? Yeah, actually, last Saturday. I was down in Nancy Mulligan's when the Celtic players were on while the match was on, so I didn't get to see it. But yeah, this is Derek here with Ian Brown, the centre, and Derek's friend as well with them. I'm actually as I said, Derek. Call him Jimmy Herbo. So that's the three lads from Dublin there down. I think that's down the just beside Celtic Park there, in Derry. So they were down watching Dublin games. For these lads were travelling up to Derry to watch the game, but again, Dublin aren't the team they were at all. So they weren't. They definitely need to. They're going through a bit of a transition, I have to say. It's not going to be their year this year, I don't think, anyway, so it isn't. So talking of Aidan Brown there, folks, he's made a scene. This was announced in the last 2 weeks, so it was. And what a gig. I'll just take this there banner off the bottom so you can see the full poster. So Balladfest 5 is going to be in Belfast this year. Next year, should I say. This year's one is not long finished there. But I think the problem Aidan was having was the National Stadium, as far as I know, didn't really want to have the gig again, which was I think was Aidan's preferred destination for it. And so obviously I was texting back and forth. He's having a little bit of trouble trying to get a venue for the gig. I think you just wondered, why venues in the south maybe does not want to be part of this here thing, because you're talking about bringing 2 nights, maybe up to 1,000 people per night, all in drinking, and the bar doesn't want to be associated with that. It's really strange. So I sort of put him onto the dev mission and said, listen, look, I'll work with these guys. I said, everything's there for you. Just come in. I said, the sound's there, sound man's there, massive big hall, massive big built-in stage already. You haven't got a lot to do, And so I think he obviously went in and down and up and met the guys in the Devonish. And he's very, very happy. So really pleased to say Ian has asked me to come on board with him. I'm going to be there both nights hosting the show, which is going to be great. So just a wee rundown here of the tickets are now on sale, folks. If you go to patterbrowns.com, and they're on Eventbrite as well. So if you can't find the link for them on patterbrowns.com, just go to Eventbrite and search for Balladfest 5. So this is the going to be the lineup. So on both nights, you're going to have flute bands, 2 flute bands in Belfast. We're going to be opening the show once again. I sort of put Aidan on to him, and he's very, very happy because he was sort of looking for something different to do. So I sort of said, listen, look, why don't you go on? There's 2 really good local flute bands. We'll get them on. It'd be great to open the show. So I think on the Friday, the flute bands will open the show, and on the Saturday, I think it's going to be the opening Allsop. 2 bands I played in for a long time, so it's great. Going to be great to see them on stage and taking part in this. So the main crux and the main acts over the 2 nights is going to be Fieldsy, who she's busy taking social media by storm right now, which is she's going to be moving back to Ireland very, very soon over this next year. She's over here at the minute doing a wee mini tour. Then she's going back to Australia, and as far as I know, this year she's moving back to Ireland full time. So Emer is going to be there with a full band, the Dublin Bards, who is Aidan's resident band, Power Browns. Some boy called DJ Big Row from West Belfast. You might know him. Shay Doolan is going to be there. Shay is going to blow the roof off that place and guarantee that. Shabeen, the full band. The Old Brigade there, which Paddy and Fran. Aaron Gobra, Chris. It's going to be there with a few people as well. Then the Rebel Hearts from County Tipperary. It's going to be playing. They're coming up for the gig. Callie's Men, which I cannot wait to see live on a stage like this. It's going to be brilliant. And then the Irish Brigade as well. So, folks, tickets are available now. You can buy a single ticket for the Friday, single ticket for the Saturday, or you can buy full weekend tickets. But as far as I know, the weekend tickets were almost nearly sold out. So there were very, very few of them left. So just go and check out on Eventbrite for them. So, really looking forward to Balfest 5 and the Devonies here in West Belfast. Well, technically it's South Belfast, isn't it? Finicky. But we're claiming that as our own West Belfast. So, really looking forward to this big, massive gig. So, I'm going to be torturing you about this here, folks, over the next lot of months. Because really, really looking glad to be part of this here, and I'm sort of told Aidan that we'll commit to pushing the form over the next few months in the show. Right, seen Lee Brockerville commenting there on the show from Newfoundland over in Canada. Good to see you on the day, Lee. So we're going to play one of your tunes now from your great album, Songs of Irish Rebellion, Volume 1. And plus, let us know when is Volume 2 going to be in the works very soon. What's the crack? So this is one of my favourite songs from the album. The Belfast Brigade, getting the green, white and gold. This is Rebel Sundays, folks, from myself, Big Row, multi-streaming on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter till 4 o'clock this afternoon. So please share the stream.
Forget to set the specials out to shoot the people down. They thought the IRA were dead in Hero Belfast town. They got a rude awakening with rifle and grenade when they met the 1st Battalion of the Belfast Brigade. Glory, glory to the Ireland. Glory, glory to the soil. And glory to the memory of the men who fought and died. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. Well, the soldiers came from Hollywood, equipped with English guns. There were soldiers by the 1,000, ammunition by the tons. But when they got to the falls, well, they were seriously delayed by the fighting 2nd Battalion of the Belfast Brigade. Glory, glory to the Ireland. Glory, glory to the soil. And glory to the memory of the men who fought and died. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. Well, we have no ammunition, no armour cars to show, but we're ready to defend ourselves wherever we may go. We're out for our republic and to hell with your free state. We're the fighting 3rd Battalion of the Belfast Brigade. Glory, glory to the Ireland. Glory, glory to the soil. And glory to the memory of the men who fought and died. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. Connolly, and Kettle Brew, Pierce, and the brave Wolf Town, Bobby Sands, Francie Hughes, and your Martin Hurson from Tyrone. Although they're gone, we shall go on until Ireland's united and free. So Irishman, unite again to make our land a nation once more free. I'll give me the Irish Republican Army. I'll give it a green, white and gold every time. I'll give it a 3-leaf shamrock of Ireland, a land that I love so divine. I'll send the English back where they came from and make our land ours once again. I'll give it the Irish Republican Army to make our land a nation once again. Here we go! Where the I, the I, the IRA, the I, the I, the IRA, the I, the I, the IRA, the I, the I, the IRA. So come all you gallant Irishmen and join the IRA. Come strike a blow for freedom when there comes a certain day. You know your country's history and the sacrifice we made. Come join the 4th Battalion of the Belfast Brigade. Glory, glory to the Ireland. Glory, glory to the soil. And glory to the memory of the men who fought and died. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. Glory, glory to the Ireland. Glory, glory to the soil. And glory to the memory of the men who fought and died. No surrender surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade. No surrender is the war cry of the Belfast Brigade.
Oh, that was the wrong wee thing I hit there on the screen. Sean Daly and the Shams just popped up for some reason. Yeah, that was Lee Brockerville there with the Belfast Brigade and then the Green, White and Gold. So cheers for tuning in today from Newfoundland in Canada, Lee. Much appreciated, my friend. Good to see you on. Right, we'll back to a few of the comments here we have. Let's see, missed a few of them there. Let's see, Neil says... damn, sucks when you wake up early at 8 a.m. The show starting really is your time changed, but Belfast time didn't. Play your own music for an hour. Geez, that there sucks there, Neil. But dedication as usual, mate. Cheers. Not a problem. Lee, good on yourself. Let's see. David Adams watching on Facebook. Up the good guys. Maura Burns, how you doing? Maura, cheers for tuning in today. Kayla Kelly. How you doing, Kayla? What's the crack? Cheers for tuning in as well. So there's Elaine on. How you doing, Elaine? Gonzalo Halligan. Hala Amigo. Where are you tuning in today from, Gonzalo Halligan? Amigo, let me know. Let's see. Just trying to see some of the ones that I missed here. John Haney says, Rohiro, can't wait to hear the Irish Brigade in Boston tonight. What a treat for me. Up the ribs. Nicole Toland, listening from the Wolftown Bar, Letterkenny. Cheers for tuning in, Nicole. Great bar, I have to say. Been there a couple of times. We've been staying in Letterkenny, and going by, like I said, anybody that's played there, they say they play one of the top rebel bars to play in this country. So keep up the good work. Keep what you're doing. It's a great pub, so it is great for the rep. So fair play to you. Let's see, what else do I have? Kathleen McMullen says, take it over. Oh, you're talking about John Boy then. Derek Daly. How you doing, Derek? Watching on Facebook today. Happy Sunday, Cara McVery's men from the Sligo Rags. Right, here we go again. I think it's the second time this guy's put this in. So, Robbie, listen. All I'm going to say is, wind your neck in, would you? I wish you Northerners, take if you're from the South, see, you Northerners would stop taking away the Irish sound of the name Kieran by saying Kieran. It's pronounced Kieran. Listen, mate, if I want to say Kieran, I will say Kieran. If I want to say Kieran, I'll say Kieran. If you don't like the way I say things, fuck off, alright? Cheerio, I won't really care. Second time you said a wee sneaky comment like that there, so do one. And it couldn't be arse anyway, listen to you. Dirty Carbell says, where am I playing on St. Patrick's Day? Well, St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to be on, let's see, actually, wait a minute, I'll put this here banner up. I'm going to be, where I'm first, where's the flyer right? So here, I'm going to be in the Rock Bar from 3:30 to 6:30. So I am. So that's upstairs on my own. So obviously downstairs we have Cheltenham and all on, sort of horse racing. So there's going to be no entertainment on downstairs until 6 o'clock at night. So I'm going to be upstairs. So if any are knocking about the roads, Patrick's Day, bring your kids and all, whatever. I'm going to be upstairs playing from 3:30 to 6:30. And then from downstairs from 6 o'clock onwards, you have Bick McFarlane, then Jerry Oak, and then twice daily are we finishing the night off. So all three amazing folks on Patrick's Day. And I think it has to be confirmed, but I think I'm going to be in Cookstown on St. Patrick's night, a wee late night gig. I'm just waiting on the details being confirmed, but I was asked for it the other night, so can't do it. So hopefully that'll come back this week sometime. So yep, looking like I'm going to be doing a wee rebel gig in Cookstown on St. Patrick's night. So I'll let you know all about it there. Right, one gig I do want to let you know about is this one here on Saturday the 27th. Hopefully you can see this here, 27th of May. You should remember last year we had on the show the lads from Finnan, John and Jamie, come on, and well, obviously published it sadly that there's actually the picture here of them, of two of them on the show that day. So it was Jamie and John from Finnan, and Jamie passed away last year, so he did, unfortunately, and it's really sad to see. And I obviously made a whole joke about that day whenever we were doing the interview. When Jamie come on, Ed sort of said, hold on, Jamie, to put the subtitles on, because to me it was just like a farmer going, but was having a bit of crack. And obviously I've done a few gigs with the guys since there, and it was really, really good. Brilliant lads they are. So the lads from Finnan and sort of and Saoirse in conjunction are putting on a night to remember Jamie. So it's going to be on Saturday the 27th of May at the Cross Square Hotel in Crossmaglen. So obviously I'm going to be hosting the night, probably playing a few songs before and after the gig. Then on the night, entertainment's going to be by probably John and Clint. Maybe Johnny Dogs is going to be there as well, maybe, not sure. With them. Stefan obviously is coming off from West Belfast to the gig, and then the lads from the Coolies, who aren't too far away. We'll have the Coolies on the show not too long ago. The Coolies are going to be on. So well done to Michael O'Malley as well from Saoirse for putting all this here together with the lads. So that's going to be a great night. So if any of you want to go to the gig, the tickets are a tenner, folks. You can get them on Eventbrite, or you can pay on the door of the night. So all of the money raised through the ballots and ticket sales, it's all going to be going towards the local youth club in Crossmaglen. Obviously, Jamie over the years was a big sort of volunteer in the local youth club, so he was. And I think in the last year or so their funding has been pulled, so they desperately sort of need the money to keep the place going. So it's a great incentive. So hopefully see a few of you there this here night for Jamie on Saturday the 27th of May, folks, in the Cross Square Hotel in Crossmaglen. Right, where's my thing? There's there. Right, so we'll go back to a few comments, and then we're going to do the next song, and then we will get the first song from Kieran Byrne. So we'll on the day before we get him on for the interview. Let's see. There was Flan Column says, yeah, hello lads and lassies in a row. Great guest later on. Hopefully the 11-month-old has gone down for his nap, and I'll get to hear it. Great win. TR yesterday. Do you mean yes? Great win yesterday. Karen Dixie Downey. Hello, Ro, and everyone. How you doing, Karen? Craigie says, I'll see you in the Rock Easter Sunday. Good man, Craig. I'll see you in. Let's see. Marty Heaney says, you all know I wouldn't be controversial, but up at Gary Lineker and fuck the BBC. Well, indeed, I actually watched. Normally, I always say when I come home from work on a Saturday night, I'll be on a bit of a wind down, like win some match of the day, watch match of the day, and normally by the first match, I'm like, and wake up, but usually about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning with a really sore neck, and the TV is on. I mean, but actually last night I came in from work, I was able to watch the whole match of the day, see all the games, because there was no commentary, no nothing. Yeah, I think it's pretty sort of hypocritical of the BBC. So it is, because obviously whenever they had the World Cup, they let Gary Lineker go on for about like a 5 or 10 minute monologue about the whole thing about Qatar and how bad it was with the people down and all the stadiums getting built and all this here, etc., etc. But basically, I mean, so they let him go political there, do you know what I mean? And didn't say anything about it. But this time here, obviously, he goes and like, don't get me wrong, I have no love for Gary Lineker. I think he's a bit of a posh twat, like so he is, multi-billionaire. But I think he's just right. Obviously, he was saying something which was, of course, right, what he said on Twitter about these refugees. And it's amazing to see that the DUP, they're so, like, and pretty loyalists as well. You think people that will come from a working class background would sort of see the plight that these people are in and trying to rush, get away from these countries they're in. But no, they're basically coming to the defence of the BBC, ban them all, keep them all out, send them back home, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like that the tweet there from Edwin Poots was just typical the other day. Like, he said something along the lines of like, I've never been a fan of the match of the day, but I'll definitely be watching it tonight. So like, you're like, I'll get a grip, will you, arsehole? Right, so next song we're going to do before we'll do the first song from Kieran Byrne, or should I say Kieran Byrne, to keep us all happy. We're going to do a bit wee tune from Declan McLaughlin. This is from Declan's album The Path of Most Resistance, and our original song from Declan, all about obviously the streets of Derry and the struggle and stuff. This song called Run Uphill. Obviously this was originally recorded with Declan's band years ago with the Screaming Bin Lids, and then he since recorded solo on his new album. It's really, really good. So this is Declan McLaughlin with Run Uphill, and then we're going to have the first song from Kieran Byrne on the show.
How many times must we do this to ourselves? Been on our knees a million times, asking for your help. Of all the answers that I don't understand, like I did not draw the firing line, but I know where to stand. Nobody told me, must have heard it on the news. People with nothing still had everything to lose. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. In the corner of a graveyard, a mother kneels to pray, in the memory of a son that slowly fades away. In this part of the graveyard, the sun no longer shines. There's no fences or barbed wire, but still she's doing time, until she gets the answers to the questions that she asked. It's hard to build a future when you're haunted by the past. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. As the bodies hit the pavement, the world's seen what you've done. As the bodies hit the pavement, somebody's singing that we will overcome. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. And everybody gathered here on Central Drive is marching in the shadow of the truth they tried to hide. And every step that's taken is a breaking of your law, for your justice never added up to the murder that we saw. And time don't make no difference to the people that still care. In thousands we march the streets still knowing that you're there. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill. It's like running uphill.
There we go. That was Declan McLaughlin with Running Uphill. So, folks, we'll go to the first of the songs here by Kieran Byrne, with it from his exclusive second new album. It's just finished. It's finished being recorded this past week and sent to the printer. So this is the first song he sent me. And this is the ballad of Aidan McInnesby. And then hopefully once it's finished, we'll have Aidan live on. We'll have Kieran live on the show.
On a Sunday evening, the sun shone in the sky, as he walked his way to the Gaelic ground, never thinking he was going to die. As he crossed the checkpoint, the sound of gunfire came. The news spread through the border town, Aidan McInnesby slain. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? Say it was an accident or even a ricochet. But like Loughgall and Gibraltar, your lies are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McInnesby on his way to the Gaelic ground. For years he was harassed by the forces of the crown, as he went to work every morn and left his native town. The soldiers swore they'd get him for reasons no one can say, and sure enough they murdered him in cold blood on that sunny day. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? say it was an accident or even a ricochet, but like Loughgall and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnaspey on his way to the Gaelic crown. To say it was an accident, the greatest crime of all. 'Twas broken heart and family, the worst that can befall. Across na marks a lonely spot, where Aidan he was shot down. As he walked on that Sunday evening on his way to the Gaelic ground. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? Say it was an accident, or even a ricochet. But like Loughgall and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnaspey on his way to the Gaelic crown. Well, Aidan's life had ended. It was time for Judgment Day. A soldier jumped from the tower, the coward he ran away. God's curse on New England for the cruel deed you've done. God will have his final say when your day of judgment comes. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? To say it was an accident or even a ricochet. But like Loughgall and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnaspey on his way to the Gaelic crown. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? To say it was an accident or even a ricochet. But like Loughgall and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnaspey on his way to the Gaelic crown. You murdered Aidan McAnaspey on his way to the Gaelic crown.
There you go. So that was Aidan McAnaspey here, folks, from Kieran's soon-to-release second album. So, Kieran, can you hear me okay?
I can indeed, Ro.
Oh, excellent sound. Good man yourself. So it's great to have you on. Thanks for getting up so early. What time is it at the minute over there?
It's 9 o'clock in the morning here, so we sprung forward last night.
Oh, that's not too bad. So it isn't 9 o'clock. I've been up earlier than that there this morning. So right. So listen, let's sort of start off from the very start. You're originally from Limerick, so you are. Obviously, listening back on previous podcasts and stuff, but I have to say, it doesn't really strike me as a real strong like Limerick accent. Like, I can actually know a few people from Limerick, and I know you've been in America and stuff for a while. But so where originally in Limerick are you from?
I'm from Limerick City.
Right, okay.
But my family's from Cork, so I was born in Cork. We moved to Limerick the year I was born.
Right.
And then I went to England when I was 18, and then been over here for the last 13 years.
Right, 13. Because obviously, I was speaking to the Paul Sheeran a lot from Clover, and obviously I always sort of slag him and say he sounds more like a Langer than a Cork man, because his accent is definitely more towards the Cork end than it be from Limerick. He says, "Don't do that. That's blasphemy. Don't be saying I'm from Cork. I'm a proud Limerick man, so I am." But just
when I was listening,
like
my kids here, you know, they're like American, but some of the stuff they say is pure Irish. So I kind of like had the Cork accent in the house and then the Limerick accent everywhere else. So I think I got lost in the mix.
Right, okay. So obviously, see, given your sort of career path you've took over the last few years, would you have been like sort of going back to the very start, a real sporty kid at school? Like, would you have been?
Yeah, I would have played basketball and soccer at school. So just growing up, like that's what we had. So we did kind of like sport all the time at lunchtime. We were out at lunch, everybody was playing sport. And I just kind of fell into it with a few of my friends. So when we went to secondary school, they had a basketball team starting. So we went in for that. And it's kind of like started doing that, did a soccer as well. Just tried everything growing up just to keep myself busy. I think my parents were just like, right, he needs to get out of the house. So we need to put him in as much stuff as possible.
That's it. So you weren't in the GA at all, no?
No, I played hurling and played football as well. But once I started playing basketball, because I was tall for an Irish kid, I was like, okay,
that's it.
This is easy. And it's inside, so I'm not getting pissed wet all the time.
Actually, one of my teachers when last Sal in West Belfast here, he was actually, I think he was like either the Ireland basketball coach, or he was call him Danny Fulton. His name was.
I know Danny. I know Adrian Fulton as well.
He was really big in basketball, so he was. Remember like the time. So sort of moving into the music sort of bit of your life. When did you first sort of? At what age did you sort of pick up a guitar, like, and sort of who would have been your influences then to want you to do that, like?
I picked up a guitar when I was 17. I'd asked my parents for something special for Christmas, and they got me a guitar, and I was like, okay, this is great. Kind of out of left field. Just started strumming away a little bit, and then a friend of mine in Limerick, Damien, played it. So he kind of showed me a little bit of stuff. And then I went off to college over to the UK, and we had an Irish society in college. So every Wednesday we'd meet up and we'd have a sing-song in a pub. And that kind of motivated me to get better at the guitar.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to get out here. I want to be able to play a couple of songs and sing a couple of songs, and just kind of blossomed from there, really. So I took to it late.
That was like the sort of next question we'll ask you about your moving to England. So I think that's, for me, to me it sounds like that's when you sort of really took off, starting to sort of play the music. So you had like a band over there as well, didn't you? Was it a load of other Irish guys, or?
Yeah, we started a band out of college, out of that Irish society, where one of the ladies in, I think it was the Blarney Stone in Bedford, said, like, would you guys come up and do a gig? So 3 or 4 of us kind of threw ourselves together. And we had a little band called Bottle of Smoke, named after the Pogue song. So there was myself on guitar. There was a girl called Kira, last name I can't remember, Kira Conway. She was on guitar and singing. Stevie Doohan from Falcara and Donegal was on Bowron and vocals. And then there was a guy, Willie Corrigan, was on the banjo. And then we had a couple of people in and out as well. There was a guy, Willie Vernon, played accordion. Rachel Cosworth played the fiddle. And another guy, Henning Kebab, from Norway, actually.
Because that doesn't sound like an Irish name. So it doesn't, like...
Some crack. Like, we had no clue what the heck we were doing. Right. I remember my dad came over for one of the first gigs and left the front room of the pub we were playing, went into the back room.
He says, noise? What's going on there?
Yeah, he's like, well, you know, I said, Dad, what did you think? He goes, well, I'll tell you one thing. I said, what? And I was all excited. He goes, it can only get better.
It can only get better. So what sort of stuff was playing there? Was it all just like trad and folk? Like,
It was folk, trad, like Dubliners, Pogues, Waterboys, you know, some of the Saw Doctors stuff, you know, all the stuff that was popular at the time. And then, you know, a mix of rebel stuff in there as well.
Yeah. So did you then move back to Ireland once you sort of graduated? Did you start teaching in America or in Ireland first before you moved to America? Or?
No, I stayed in England because what kept me there was the fact that more access to jobs, and also the music was going so well. Because in the last 3 years of college, like, it just took off. You know, we're playing for the Northampton Celtic Supporters Club. We're playing all the bars around Luton, North London. So I was like, you know, this is great fun. Like, I can go to college during the week and then pack up the car on a Friday, feck off for the weekend, and try and arrive back in time for Monday morning and just have the crack all weekend. So I was like, I'm not giving this up to go home.
Oh, I definitely, yeah, especially over here, the way things are going at the minute. So from what I understand, it wasn't until you sort of moved back out to America, you sort of started really taking the music seriously. I think it was after your wedding. I want to hear that was your first gig, more or less, you singing. So tell me about, firstly, how you ended up in America, right? Obviously, there's like a lot of cases, there's a woman involved, so there is, and then how your musical career sort of took off out there, like. So
when I moved back to Ireland, I played for a couple of years, and then the music kind of got sidelined because I got busy I was coaching and teaching and stuff, and then came over to America in the summer coaching basketball. and met my wife over here. She was a second cousin of the guy I was coaching with at Waterford Wildcats, called Sean O'Regan. He's from Cork. So I moved over, and we'd play like we do, sing songs in the pubs and stuff like that. So she's just kind of seen me, and talking about Danny Fulton. We're at a Basketball Ireland camp, and me and Adrian Fulton had a long session one night, singing songs and playing music into the wee hours of the morning. So when I came over, she was like, are you going to start playing music or do anything? And I was like, nah, probably not. Like, just try and get settled. And then I played at the wedding for the last 20 minutes for all the Irish crowd that were over.
Aye.
And just everybody came up and were like, Jesus, you have to get into the circuit here. You have to, absolutely. So I was like, do you think so? And they were like, yeah. And I had missed it so much because I hadn't played really for about 4 or 5 years properly. So okay. And Jesus, it's just been fantastic. Haven't looked back since.
So obviously Chicago is a notoriously sort of Irish spot. So it is obviously for you look, obviously you said the turn the Green River, the River Green office and Patrick's Pick and stuff, whatever. And there's a lot of sort of expats out there and they sort of stay there. So I can sort of take it wasn't sort of hard settling in when you first moved out there. I mean, tell me about the sort of Irish community that you have in Chicago.
There's a great Irish community here, Ro. It's absolutely wonderful. It's the third biggest city in the US, and I thought, having lived in England and coming over here, it was going to be easy enough for me to kind of, adapt. And it was way better than I ever thought it would be. People are so welcoming. You have a very, very strong community on the south side, and then you have a strong community in Chicago itself and on the north side, and you've got really good Irish bars here. The community is very, very supportive. Any fundraising that needs to be done, any community activities, everybody gets together. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody helps everybody. And anybody's just a phone call away.
Yeah,
anytime.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great to have
massive.
Have there.
And in terms of just making you feel comfortable being here, you can kind of have your own pocket of space within the place.
Yeah, I lived out in America for close to 3 years. I was in Colorado, so it was working in a massive hotel. But I mean, luckily enough, when I went out, there was we were on a visa thing, so it was all other Irish people come over with us. So it was, but it was only there was half Protestants, half Catholics, and we'll treat these wee poor Irish kids out and they'll try and reconcile them and all this shit, whatever. But it was good until we went to watch the Celtic Rangers game and near murdered each other. So but in one of the bars, but that's another long story. But I think I don't think I sort of could have fitted in then of all the other Irish ones sort of weren't there. I mean, we were all living in the same apartment complex, which was great. But I know so many people have been out there and they've I can't. It's just the homesickness and all whatever. I couldn't deal with it and whatever. And basically moved back. But I think, sort of music ways, I think when we were out there's 3 albums, right, that literally, for the space of the 3 years, which was all we listened to, it was Christy Moore led the point, right? And I think I burned that CD about 100 times for people. Even all the Irish, the American ones, go, give us that there. And then the Wolf Tones 25th anniversary album. And literally that's all got played for 3 years. Every party I went to, in his house, and it was just. But I think it was more just a connection to try and keep people. I mean, we all socialised together every weekend, stuff, whatever, and we all went in at each other's houses and all, whatever, and stuff. And it was a great experience to go out there. But as I said, I spoke to so many people that have been out to America and tried to do the whole thing, and they just because they maybe met an American sort of girl and went out there, but they didn't really have that connection that you said you've had with the community, which was if you didn't have that, it might have been harder for you to sort of.
It would be very, very hard. It would be very hard. My wife was talking a couple of years ago about maybe moving, and I was like, I can't. I don't want to, move out of here where I'm this comfortable with having the Irish community here, strong GA community, very, very strong GA community here as well. And it's just a sense of normality with all the craziness that goes on in the world. That you can pop into this pub and you're just surrounded by your own people who kind of get to understand you.
Yeah. So obviously looking at your social media, you've sort of built up sort of a few regular gigs in Chicago. So how long did it sort of take you to get yourself sort of make a name for yourself in and around the bars and then get all these regular gigs
It took about 3 years. I started off playing a place called Jack Desmond's and Lanigan's, 2 pubs on the south side, and I just kind of built up with settling in. Our first kid came a year after I was over here as well. So once things kind of on the work side of it and on the family side of it settled down, I was able to kind of expand a little bit more. And then obviously, with COVID doing the Facebook Lives, that just blew up as well.
Yeah. We'll get into that there.
Yeah.
In a bit. In terms of music, is it more like a sort of folk or sort of more rebel you would play, or I mean, and like sort of what sort of do you tend to get asked for in the gigs? Is there certain songs that you want to play but you can't play them, or is there sort of some songs you have to do every week that you just can't really, you don't really like, but you sort of have to do them for the sort of people that are there in the bar, like the sort of Irish American ones, or?
Yeah, it's a mix and match. So like I'll play some places that are very, very Irish, owned by Irish people, full of off the boat Irish people, and they're okay with you doing whatever you want to do.
Aye.
You know, and that's why I do like the Sunday Rebel Sunday sessions, north side and the south side in those bars, like places like Clancy's, the High School up the north side, Irish American Heritage Centre. But if you're downtown in some of the places, you just have to be a little bit more careful because it's a transient type of crowd. So they're more aware of, okay, we might have people in here that are on holidays. They might not like what you're doing. They don't want anything too offensive. You just mix and match what you do.
So what would be termed as offensive? What, like 18 Brits, not the sort of stuff, or just like sort of more like Boys Over Brigade, or like, I mean,
like Going Home for the Shoulders, Samsung.
Oh, right, okay, right.
Yeah. So some of that stuff is okay in certain places, and in certain other places, they wouldn't mind it, but they're like, look, you know, we've got to protect our, you know, kind of crowd that are coming in here in our business, so we don't want to be labeled as this or that or the other. Right.
So, do you sing Wagon Wheel every week?
Not every week, no.
But just one of them ones you have to now and again, sort of like.
Somebody comes up and drops a nice tip in the jar, like, you know.
You'll reluctantly play it. Aye. So like a lot of the artists I've had on here, Kieran, over the last 2 or 3 years, before that sort of dreaded word, lockdown, I honestly was sort of never heard of them before, and I have to say you were one of those guys. That's not a bad thing, by the way. Do you know what I mean? I think it's for me as well. I mean, I wouldn't have had the platform I had now, which is, and all the opportunities I've had over the last 2 years without lockdown. I mean, in this show, it's opened up so much opportunities. But I think I first heard you playing, I think it was on one of Keith's streams, from On the Hoop Celtic. So it was. Obviously then you were on, loads of sort of page takeovers on Murray and Joe's page. Yeah. The Glasgow Irish bands and gigs. So see, regarding like for the Facebook Lives, so it's always good to sort of ask people who've done these here. How was it sort of for you, and what would you say sort of the Facebook Live experience has done for your career? Like, I mean, and obviously tell about the first one you done. Like, obviously, sort of the first night you went and done like a live feed.
The first one I did, I think I'd seen Eamon Glacken do one, and a few other people had kind of started it, and I was really bored.
Jesus Christ! Sorry, my uncle just came in there and he's screwed shit out of me. Oh, thank you. Oh, cheers, Vin. Jesus Christ! Don't do that there. Sitting here in a dark room, look, and he just comes up and he taps you on the shoulder. Thanks very much. Thank you very. I'm spoiling this house, so I am. Cheers.
So I have to make my own breakfast.
Sorry, mate. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. Right, so just tell us about the first Facebook Live you were doing.
So, yeah, I was saying, I'd seen Emer and a few other people do it, so I was like, you know what, I might as well try this and just see what the heck happens, you know? And I got a very, very good response. So kind of build up a little bit of a following, and then Murray picked me up for Glasgow Irish bands and gigs, and Keith picked me up for Come On the Hoops as well. And it was just really, really fun to be able to sit down and interact with people, you know. Yeah. And like I got to know so many people as well. Like Ray Coleman over here was doing them as well, and like he's cracked as a plate, so you'd have great fun. And it was something that was different. And then people started responding saying, "Look, we're really looking forward to this because in the mundane week that we have, it's a nice break that you come on a Sunday and kind of do this kind of stuff." And you know, I was nervous at the start because you never know how it's going to go. Like, is there anybody out there? Is there anybody going to be watching you? Is anyone going to like what you do?
Yeah.
And interact. But people were just so lovely, and it was wonderful.
I mean, but even to this day, there last week, I was doing a gig in one of the bars in Belfast, and I hadn't never played it before. And literally, see the amount of people that still come up to me now, and when I start doing this Rebel Sunday show, and they're like, "Mate, just see what you helped us through so much." Like, basically, we're sitting in the house, like, and every week I still get this, and people are like, "Mate, we were sitting there, couldn't do anything," and at your show, just sort of give us something to look forward to every week to watch, you know what I mean, whatever and stuff. And then obviously now it still continued and grew. But like, I think without all these people doing these live feeds, people's heads would have been put away. Like, so it would have been
absolutely. I mean, it built up such a strong community, and then the people will get to know each other. Like last night, I played a private party for a guy from Omaha. He's originally from Chicago, but he got to see me online, you know. And now
Yeah.
he was talking last night about like how great a community is. All the people log in and they all talk to each other. They catch up with each other. People would send you pictures like, here you are on my television. We're sitting down in wintertime with the fire lighting and we're just having some drinks, listening to you and having the crack.
That's crazy, isn't it? Like, it's just surreal. Even like as you say there about the
power of music, like, and how it can still keep people going and bring people together, you know.
It's just as you say about the community. I mean, we're like, I've seen me doing this. The amount of there's so many regular people watch it, and I've had 2 sort of gigs since this, and people have travelled from England, Scotland, to come over for the gigs, and I would count a lot of these people as personal friends now on this. No, I've since met them and went out with them and stuff, and like it's surreal to think it's something you could do online. Never met people before in your life, and then all of a sudden you just class them as close friends. Like, so you are, like, it's because you met them like by playing the bloody computer screen or a phone. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's like, aye. So after you gave me a couple of songs from your just recently finished second album. So I played Abe McAnespie at the start of the interview. So tell us about this here, about the album, mate. Is there a name for it yet? And would this one be sort of predominantly more rebel orientated, or?
It will be more rebel orientated, yeah. Kind of follow on from the first one as well. And a friend of mine was doing a sound engineering course, so he called me up last December, and he was like, "Look, I need you to come into the studio and record a couple of songs for my course." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, no problem." So I went in on a Saturday morning, laid down some tracks, and then we got to finish it off in a couple of months later. So it's just been mastered, but you'll have songs like Willie and Danny, the H Block song, Aidan McAnespie, as you played, Kevin Barry, Death Before Revenge, Billy Reid, Something Inside So Strong, Streets of New York, and for Ireland, I'd Not Tell Her Name.
Brilliant. So do you have a name for this one yet? Is it?
I'm thinking of calling it For Ireland.
Just for Ireland, okay, right.
Yeah, but if anybody's got any great suggestions, please let me know. 'Cause this is the kind of stuff that wrecks my head.
Yeah. So take about. Did you put the other one out on CD? I mean, how did it go down over in America? Like when the first album you done, like the gigs and stuff, were people asking you for it? I mean, with a band it, or I mean,
it was mixed because you get the people like, well, I don't have a CD player. Like, put it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I see all the modern cars. Like I've had my last 2 cars, not one of them has had a CD player. It's all USP pens, but what I done, what I done was when I released our Rebs for Hope album that we done, I actually think I've got like 100 USB sticks made of it, and they sold out way before even the CD. People were like, I guess one. I mean, but that's something to think, because they're actually very cheap. You can buy them on Amazon in bulk. You know what I mean, basically, they're like, and all you need to do is just go onto your computer and load the album each time on the USB stick. And what I was doing was, like, I was obviously giving people the album cover, the same album cover that came with the CD, only instead of putting the CD into it, just put the USB pen into it instead. And here, it's cheap enough as well, and you can basically still charge the same amount for a CD for it, so you can, like. But that's the thing there where people say, like, I'll bet, but how am I going to play it? I mean, I don't have a CD player in the car, even in the house, so how am I going to play it? I mean, I think it's a damn breed now, CD, so it is, like. I think that's where the.
But luckily enough, the Irish over here still have the old CD players, you know.
Aye. So have you any sort of intentions to go on Spotify or anything, or get any of your stuff on there?
I was looking at Bandcamp and trying to upload to Spotify as well. So hopefully this one I'll get the time to sit down and get that organized and put it up there so that it's more available. And everybody says to me, look, if we need it on CD, like there's a couple of ones from the last CD still left over. I've about 10 left over, I'd say.
Yeah.
So we did good pushing it out there, and I know Murray's got some as well over in Glasgow. But people from elsewhere, like you were talking about Gonzalo earlier, he's in Chile. So just to get the reach broader across, make the access more easy for people, then I got to get the finger out and get it up on Spotify and Bandcamp, and I think I'll do the USBs as well. Yeah,
I think a lot of sort of artists sort of say it as like, if I'm sort of trying to explain about Spotify, it's like, I don't want to go on there. They're basically they're taking your music for free. But I think now the thing going with Spotify is it's more about getting your music out there. So it is,
exactly,
and letting people hear it. Where I think the way people have to look at it now and go, the whole thing of selling CDs for me, it's gone. So it is. Shouldn't even be thinking of making any money from a CD anymore. To me, it's more now bands should be looking to push their music out so they can basically get people to their gigs and stuff. That's how how you.
It's
what Spotify is.
Marketing that
exposure,
you
get
is the best.
That's what it is like. Before I let you go, obviously, is there any sort of plans in the future to get back home to do a few gigs? I know you mentioned about you were wanting to sort of jump in with Murray and do maybe a mini tour of like sort of Glasgow and England and stuff. And so, is there any plans to do that in the future? Or?
There is, yeah. I'm gonna try and get something organised just locally when I go back this year, and use the summer to kind of plan better and make connections with people, and kind of actually get dates in the diary. It's always hard because I was coaching soccer over here until this year, so my summers were kind of bookended with soccer starting at the end of the summer, and then doing stuff during the summer for that as well. But now I've got June, July, and August free. So if anybody wants to book me, send me a message. So we'll try and get something organised. Would love to do it. And the friends of mine in Black Stairs Rebel kind of like said they'll help me out as well, doing some dates over in Ireland. I know Anne-Marie Barkley, who always listens in from Belfast, is like, you got to get up to the Rock. And I'm
she actually has commented there now. Says, yeah, rock bar, please, rock bar.
Yeah, well, I said I got to get my arse to Ireland first and then try and get me way up to the Rock.
That's it. Yeah. But listen, so we're going to let you go on, but obviously we played the Abe McAlespy first version. Now, the second one you've sent me is the Francie Bally track, the H-Block song, so it is, which is, I have to say, I told you this the other night, Kieran, when I sent you, you had sort of said you're a big fan of the Pogues after you grown up. See, when I first heard this, there's definitely a touch of like Shane MacGowan in this, I have to say. It's really just the way you've sung this song, and it just take it as a compliment. I think it sounds...
Thank you very much. I think it was because I was like, it was at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning session we did that one. So I was thinking, I was feeling a bit Shane MacGowan-y from the night before.
Aye, rough. Yeah. Jesus. I'm sure he's recorded many a song really on a Sunday morning, rough, like. Hadn't been in the bed in 3 or 4 days, like. He
doesn't know what day it is.
Jesus. Well, listen, Kieran, thanks very much for coming on, mate. It's been great for catching up and all with you, so it has. So hopefully if you do ever get over to this side of the world, we'll maybe meet up. Maybe get the Belfast or something. So, cheers. It was Kieran Byrne, live from Chicago, folks. All right, Mugger, thanks. So, we're going to now play Kieran's song, H-Block song, from his new album, soon to be released. So, Kieran, cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Talk again. There we go. So, that was Kieran Byrne, live from Chicago, folks. Great guest. So, yep, this is the second track he sent me. And I did say that a sort of, to me, there was definitely a bit of like Shane MacGowan in this voice. So have we listen for yourselves and let me know what you think. So it's Kieran Byrne, folks, with the Francie Bally track, H-Block song.
Well, I am a proud young Irishman in Ulster's hills. My life began a happy boy. Through the green fields ran, I kept God's and man's laws. But when my age was barely 10, my country's wrongs told again by tens, thousand marching men. My heart stirred to their cause. So I'll wear no convict's uniform, or meekly serve my time. But Britain might brand Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. Well, I learned of centuries of strife, of cruel laws, injustice rife. I saw now in my own young life the fruits of foreign sway. Protesters trod on tortured, maimed, division nurtured, passions flamed, outrage provoked, right's cause defamed. This is a conqueror's way. So I'll wear no convict's uniform, my time. A Britain might and Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. Descended from proud Connaught clan, con cannon served cruel Britain's plan. Man's inhumanity to man has spawned a trusted slave. No strangers are these bolts and locks, no new design these dark age blocks, but crumble lives while Mason stalks. The bully taunts the brave. So I'll wear no convict's uniform, or meekly serve my time. The Britain might and Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. Does Britain need 1,000 years of protest, riots, death and fear? Or will the last decades of years of 80 decade spell an end to Ireland's agony, no hope for human dignity? Or will the last obscenity be this grim H-block cell? So I'll wear no convict's uniform, or meekly serve my time. That Britain might and Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. That Britain might and Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime.
There we go. That was Kieran Byrne there, for you folks, from his soon-to-be-released second album. 2 exclusive songs there for you, The Ball of Abe, Mac and Espy, and the H-Block song there from Francie Brawley. So well done, Kieran. Great interview, mate. Thanks very much for coming on. Loads of great feedback in the comments. So that was brilliant. Cheers, folks. Let's see. We'll jump back to a few of the comments here before the interview started, so I can see, because I know I missed a lot of them. So that 2 seconds. Yeah, I think there's lots of Kieran's regular viewers that are on the show today. I can see lots of people commenting that obviously haven't seen before on Rebel Sundays, which is so welcome along, folks. Cheers for tuning in this afternoon. Hopefully, maybe see you a few back on the next show. Let's see. Yeah, more or less all just a lot of people just saying how good the interview was, and cheers for the Kieran for coming on. Not a problem. Right, so see. A few people come through commenting about Terry and Rob, who are moving in the new gaff for you. So, yeah, well done. Good luck to Terry and Rob. Moving into your new place. Hope it works out well for you. So, you're looking for a bit of Damien Quinn, as always. So, what I am going to do, I'm going to play Rebel Sundays for you. I was doing a gig there on Friday night. A few of you may have seen me posting a couple of videos and pictures up. It's actually like a big private sort of mansion of a house here in West Belfast, but it's currently being built. It was it's praise 40th birthday for my friend Kelly. So they booked Damien Quinn first to come on, then I come out there him played. Obviously by the time I come up, Damien had just left. They were all well oiled up and lit up. So it was a great night. So happy 40th again to Kelly. It was a great night. So we're going to do now a bit of Damien Quinn. Damien was there. Actually Damien's back playing Rebel Sundays tonight. Spiritual Home. So, yep, that's for anyone looking for Damien Quinn, especially for Terry and Rob as well. So, get on your new house. So, it's Damien Quinn with Rebel Sundays, folks. Of course, the tune that this show on a Sunday is named after. So, we'll do have to play the song every now and again. Like.
Well, it took a stroll down the old Fox Road. Rebel Sunday is the day when you see Jerry Oak and Gideon Quinn sing a song to the IRA. I ask you friends, are you heading to the rock? Cause I have Rebel Sundays on at 6 o'clock. There's Gideon Quinn, he hits the Queen, and Jerry Oak, he loves Shabeen. Well, Jerry Oak sings fuck your flag and fuck it again, while Damien Quinn sings it in Brits and a nation once again. I ask you friends, are you heading to the rock? Cause I have Rebel Sundays on at 6 o'clock. There's Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, and Jerry Oak, he loves Shabeen. They'll hear the songs of Bobby Sands and the men who fought and died, the broad black Byrne and the black and tans and the Provost lullaby. I ask you friends, are you heading to the rock? Cause the hand Rebel Sundays on at 6 o'clock. There's Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, and Jerry Oak, he loves Shabeen. Well, I took a stroll down the old Fox Road. Rebel Sunday is the day when you see Jerry Oak and Damien Quinn sing the song of the IRA. I ask you friends, are you heading to the rock? Cause I have Rebel Sundays on at 6 o'clock. There's Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, and Jerry Oak, he loves Shabeen. Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen, Damien Quinn, he hits the Queen. Jerry Oak, Jerry Oak, Jerry Oak, Jerry Oak, Jerry Oak, Jerry Oak.
There we go. Damien Quinn there, folks, with 18 Brits on Rebel Sundays. And myself, Big Roe, we're here live till 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I have another hour and 25 minutes to go for you. So loads of time to get your requests in. So get them in. We're here at 4 o'clock. So yeah, we're monthly streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. So welcome along to you as all. If you're watching on any of the platforms, please give us a wee retweet or a share of the stream. As always, try and get as much people watching the show every other Sunday as possible, folks. So as you know, we're not back next week, back in the following week. We've been, from this year onwards, we have been trying to do it every 2 weeks, obviously, with cup finals and sort of certain gigs I've been booked for. We've had to rejig that a wee bit, but the majority of the shows throughout the year are going to be every 2 weeks. So coming up, so next week, the week after, the long-awaited debut on the show of Kev O'Driscoll, Kev O'D as he's known, on Sunday the 26th of March. So really looking forward to having Kev on. He's busting his arse to go on the show himself, so he's going to be on Sunday the 26th. Folks, if any other guests you may want me to get on the show, drop me a wee sort of line, sort of PM and say, or even in the comments, say, listen, what about this guy or that guy, or this girl or that girl, and I'll definitely inquire about getting them on. So I have got a good few booked over for the next slots, which is it's great. This year was definitely trying to be more proactive. So it was this year by getting sort of guests pre-booked. So over the next lot of weeks, you know what I mean? So if there's any guests or you may want me to get on, just let me know and I'll definitely do my best to try and get them on the show. Right, we'll jump back to a couple of comments before we do the next song for you. Let's see. Marty Haney, can I get my usual song by Stefan, please, Robot One? Is that what you're looking for? Is that These Hands? Was it you wanted? Anne-Marie says, Ro, you on in Devonish on Thursday? No, I'm not on that gig in the Devonish on Thursday. Anne-Marie, so that is being run, far as I know, by the Devonish and Emer themselves. I'm not on it, but I'll definitely be in the Rock on Friday from 3:30 to 6:30. So well, let's see. Marty says, yeah, I'll be taking a stroll tonight down the old Falls Road. Definitely. Well, you've never asked me to play that there before, Marty, so you haven't. So why didn't you say, can you say my usual request from Stefan? Because I've never played Farewell to Blackie from Stefan, so I haven't. Ro, how about you having Maeve Welch back on? She's fantastic. That is not going to happen, I have to say. Definitely not. So even if I wanted to get Maeve Welch back, her and her mother definitely wouldn't be for her coming back on my show. Let's just say it there. So that wouldn't be happening after the last interview, because a lot of people thought that I sort of maybe bullied the wee girl a wee bit. So it is, and sort of put her down out of a lane that she didn't want to go on to by a bit of the questions I was asking. Maybe I did. Sort of purposely asked a few questions that I wanted to get a few answers out of, but I got the answers out that I sort of wanted, and let's just leave it there. Yes, Marty, I know you always ask for Farewell to Blackie, but you never asked for Stefan's version, so your question was a bit loaded. Why didn't you say, Ro, can you please play Stefan Farewell to Blackie? And I would have played it for you. Right, what are we going to do next? What I have lined up next for you is we're going to do a bit of Chris Carney this time. So Chris is one of the acts. So we're playing the big massive Ballfest 5 coming up in the Devonish in February, coming up next February. It's mad. This year's show, it's a 2-day event, so it is going to be promoted like crazy for over the next month. So here we go. This is Chris from his album Live in Dublin. This is the Boys Over Again. I think the man behind the wire is in this as well. So it is.
Oh, Father, why are you so sad on this rainy summer morn? When Irishmen, they are proud and they're glad of the summer they were born. Oh, son, I see in memory of far off distant days, when being just a landlady joined the IRA. Oh, where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Oh, probably I want to see the boys of the old brigade. Was heard by one and all, and from the glen came those brave young men just to answer Ireland's call. Echoes long ago we faced a foe, the old brigade and me, and by my side we fought and died so that Ireland she might be free. Where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Oh, probably I want to see the boys of the old brigade. Oh, our present tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. Streets of Belfast in the dark of early morn, British soldiers came running, wrecking little homes with scorn. Kieran saw the crying children, dragging bottles from their bed. Watch the single helpless mothers, watch the blood pour from their head. Armored cars and tanks and guns that came to take away our sons. Every man was stand behind the men behind the wire. Oh, not for them a judge or jury, nor indeed a crime at all. Being Irish means we're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world the truth will echo, Cromwell's men are here again. England's name again is sunny in the eyes of honest men. Here we go! Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. And now, my boy, I told you why on Easter morning I have sang gone by. Sure, I think of men who fought St. Glen with rifles and hand grenades. They haven't kept the men who sleep on the ranks of the old brigade. Oh, where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, Brother Creek, I want to see the boys of the... Wait, one more time, let me hear it loud, hear it out. Oh, where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, Brother Creek, I want to see the boys and girls of the old brigade.
What a chant there. The bold Chris Carney here, folks, with the Boys Old Brigade and the Men Behind the Wire. Great track there from his album. Go and check him out on Spotify, folks. A couple of albums there from Chris of Aaron Go Bra. Well done, Dave, mate. Right, let's see. Marley J. Heaney, let's see. Any of the West Belfast crew heading across McLean? Who's talking about the gig here for Jamie on the 27th? Who's this sending me bloody message through here? See, Kelly Dargan says, could I play 18 Brits? Unfortunately, not. Kelly, I can't play it in the show anymore because more like Damien doesn't really want it played. More, I think, is due to him getting in a bit of bother for the song. So if you want to hear 18 Brits from any place you hear it as, go to one of Damien's gigs, and I'm sure he'll be playing it in the Rock tonight. So you will. So get yourself down to the Rock Bar from 10 o'clock, and Damien will definitely, I'm sure, be doing 18 Brits. Let's see. Dan Breen, what does crack? Henry. Rogue, to please play anything by the Barleycorn. Yes, mate, good shout indeed. Yep, we'll get a bit of Barleycorn on. Right, any more requests, folks? Let's see, Marty says, Antrim beating Leash 315 to 118. Some noise coming out of Corrigan Park today. Right, next tune we're going to do. So obviously we're talking about Kev. That's going to be on the show. Not next week, the week after, the 26th. We're going to do a track here from Kev's album, Broad Black Brimmer, from his album Rebel Heart, Fenian Bloods. With Kev O'Driscoll, folks, on Rebel Sundays. So say we'll have another hour and 15 minutes left. So loads of time to get your requests in. So if there are any songs you want, I haven't played them yet. If you've asked for a song and I haven't played it yet, just put it down. Get it in, and I'll try and get it on for you. Right, here we go.
There's a uniform still hanging in what's known as Father's Room. A uniform so simple in its style. It has no fancy braid of gold, no hat with feather blue. Yet me mother has preserved it all the while. One day she made me try it on, a wish of mine for years. In memory of your father, Sean, she said. And when I put the Sam Brown on, she was smiling through her tears when she placed the broad black brimmer on me head. It's just a broad black brimmer with ribbons spread and torn from the careless whisk of many a mountain breeze. And no trench coat that's been battle stained and worn, and breeches almost threadbare at the knee. A Sam Brown belt with a buckle big and strong, in a holster that's been emptied many days. But when men claim Ireland's freedom, the one that chose to lead them will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA. It was the uniform worn by me father years ago, when he reached me mother's homestead on the run. It was the uniform he wore in that little church below, when old Father Mac, he blessed the pair as one. And after truce and treaty and the parting of the ways, he wore it when he marched out with the rest. And when they bore his body down in that rugged heather brae, they placed a broad black brimmer on his chest. It's just a broad black brimmer with ribbons spread and torn from the careless whisk of many a mountain breeze. And no trench coat that's been battle stained big and strong, and a holster that's been emptied many days. But when then claim Ireland's freedom, the one that chose to lead him will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA. Just a broad black brimmer with ribbons frayed and torn from the careless whisk of many a mountain breeze, and no trench coat that's been battle stained and worn, and breeches almost threadbare at the knees. A Sam Brown belt with a buckle big and strong, and a holster that's been emptied many days. But when men claim Ireland's freedom, the one that chose to lead him will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA. Will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA.
There we go. Sounded Kev O'D there with the broad black brimmer from his album Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. So he's going on the show, on our next live show on the 26th of March. So make sure you tune in for that there. Right, now a couple of gigs here to tell you about, folks. Let's see. One here with Gary in the West on so there's Friday the 12th of May with the main man himself, Gary Oak, plus support from myself, Rebel Row. I'll be there, folks. I think tickets are a tenner and you can buy them from the bar. So make sure you get yourself down there and get a ticket for that. On talking about Easter, so the details haven't been released yet for the Rock for Easter Sunday, but I'm definitely playing on Easter Sunday with Clover. But the day before, folks, let's see, let's get this banner off the bottom so you can see. Day before, so it's Saturday, 8th of April, Easter Saturday, live the Rock Bar, Celtic versus Sevco, the Zombies, if you want to call them, Rangers. So it's the match in the league. So hopefully this here is going to be the game that ties up the title and gets us 12 points clear against them. So doors open at 11 o'clock, folks. I think the kick-off is at 12:30. So I'll be on tunes before the match starts, busy building up the atmosphere. I know a lot of you are going to be over here that weekend from Cork, and people from Scotland's all coming over. So get yourself down to the Rock Bar early, get a seat. The doors open at 11 o'clock upstairs. I'm on first, then obviously kick off 12:30, and then I'll be doing a few tunes at half-time as well once the game's finished. Hopefully we'll be celebrating with a bit of luck, and then after I'm finished, the lads from Twice Daily, I'll be live on stage for you. So that's Easter Saturday, folks, on Saturday the 8th of April at the Rock Bar, Celtic vs Rangers, for myself and Twice Daily live upstairs. Really looking forward to that one. So I think that's all the gig ones I've got through, is it, as far as I know? Yep. So far, so good. Don't forget this one as well, folks. We're going to. So they say this isn't an official Rebel podcast or Rebel Sundays outing. Well, basically just to say that we all want to go and see Clover in their native sort of Limerick, but obviously it's very, very rare these days to get to actually play in their own city. So it is. So they're going to be playing on Saturday the 3rd of June at the Wooltone GA Club in Shannon in County Clare. So basically what we're doing is we're all just arranging to get there. So we'll just all arrange ourselves, get our own travel there, arrange our own accommodation, whatever, and everybody just meet up at the GA Club at night, and we'll have a mighty session with Clover. It's all free admission, so there's no tickets required, no nothing. Basically just get if you're going to come over, fly over, or get the train up and down, whatever, up yourselves, and just sort out some accommodation. It's going to be a great trip. I know some of the lads were talking about getting a bus organised from the Rock Bar for this here gig, which would be great. So hopefully that there can be arranged. So that there's going to be Saturday the 3rd of June. It's a massive big hall in this place. So I'm sure there'll be no worries about too many people sort of coming and stuff. So hopefully we'll see a few there on Saturday the 3rd of June at the Wooltone GA Club in Shannon, County Clare. I have a lot of family down there, so it'll be great to see them and know they're coming to the gig as well. So that's going to be Clover live on stage. So say hopefully see a few at the gig. Right, so what we'll do next, what do we have lined up? Let's see. Let's jump back a few of the comments, then we'll do the next song for you. Next song we're going to play is The Streets of New York with from the Wooltones. Haven't played that on the show in a while. People always ask for it every other week, so we're going to get there next for you. James says, yep, my flight is booked for Shannon. Good man yourself. Let's see. Great choice. Definitely will play this one. Derek wrote to please play Dogs of War by Gary Oak. This is one of the tracks that he on his Live in Australia album. Phenomenal bit of work. Another song written, by the way, by Dackie McLaughlin. Dackie has never recorded this song, but he obviously gave it to Gary. So he did just like I Believe in You, and more or less said, go and do your thing with it. And he definitely has. So yep, we'll definitely get that on today, Derek. Dogs of War from your man, the Gary Hogue himself. Right, here we go. Next tune, Streets of New York. We'll do a spicy for our friend Neil Costigan as well. He's tuning in from New York. This would it be this afternoon. So obviously still morning time over there anyway. So it is.
I was 18 years old when I went down to Dublin with a fistful of money and a cartload of dreams. Take your time, said me father, stop rushing like hell. Remember all is not what it seems to be. For those fellas would put you for the coat on your back, or the watch that you got from your mother. So take care, the young bucko, and mind yourself well. Will you give this wee note to me brother? At the time Uncle Benji was a policeman in Brooklyn. Me father, the youngest, went down to the farm. When a phone call from America said send the lad over, the old fella said sure it wouldn't do any harm. For I've spent my life working this dirty old ground for a few pints of porter and the smell of a pound. Sure maybe there's something you'll learn or you'll see, and you can bring it back home. Take it easy on me. So I landed at Kennedy and a big yellow taxi carried me and me bags through the streets and the rain. Well, me poor heart was thumping around with excitement. I hardly even heard what the driver was saying. We came in the short parkway to the flatlands in Brooklyn, to my uncle's apartment on East 53rd. I was feeling so happy, I was humming a song, and I sang "You're as free as a bird." Well, to shorten the story, what I found out that day was that Benji was shot down in an uptown parade. And while I was flying my way to New York, poor Benji was lying in a cold city mall. Well, I phoned up the old fella, told him the news. I could tell he could hardly stand up in his shoes. And he wept as he told him, go ahead with the plan, but not to forget the proud Irishman. So I went up to Nelly's beside Fordham Road, and I started to learn about the lift alone. But the heaviest thing that I carried that year was the bittersweet thoughts of my hometown so dear. I went home that December, cause the owl fella died, had to borrow the money from Phil on the side, and all the bright flowers the morass couldn't hide the poor wasted face of the father. I sold up the old farmyard for what it was worth. Into my bag stuck a handful of earth. Then I boarded a train and I caught me a plane, and I found myself back in the US again. It's been 22 years since I've set foot in Dublin. The kids know to use the correct knife and fork, but I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. Na 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 na.
Farewell to Balachi, Lake waste Tom the dog, and the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. But my thoughts return to you from my dark age blood cell. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. For hundreds of years now, we've kept up the faith, and the history books told me of Ireland's plight. And so with cousin Francis, I followed the cause to conquer the tyrant and defy England's laws. Through the hills of South Derry, we marched and we drilled. Through our exploits and actions, all Irish youth thrilled. The most feared man in Ulster, volunteers on the run. We gave England her answer through the barrels of our guns. So farewell to Balachi, like waste Tom the dog, and the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. But my thoughts return to you from my dark age block cell. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, gallant South Derry, you're forever blessed in this struggle for freedom. You've given your best. There's Hughes and there's Benson, both Sheridan and Lee, and inscribed with their names now, young Tom McElwee. So farewell to Balachi, like waste Tom the dog, and the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. And my thoughts return to you from my dark age block cell. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, gallant South Derry, I bid you farewell.
There we go. There's a sort of Stefan there, folks, with farewell to Balachi, especially for Marty, who asked that one there. So it was. A second, just get the screen back on here. There we go. You see, so busy looking up something there, so I was while there was on. I had to run out and back in again, and I don't even have the next song lined up. So we are going to play something from hold on a second, the Barley Corn. So I'll just do it in a wee second for you now. So obviously you seen Audrey posting up there the comments. So she sent me a picture of the latest sort of member of the Rebel Sundays podcast crew. So little Jackson was born there prematurely. So he was. So well, someone just get the picture up. Let's see. Where about? Born 8 weeks early. So here's little Jackson here. Obviously, just put in, make sure I've got the Rebel Sundays thing on. on the cardigan, but fair play. This is Audrey's sister Karen, who obviously you'll see comment as well. She comes to all the gigs with Audrey in Belfast and stuff with her. So that's her wee grandson Jackson. So great to see Jackson's going to be another member of the crew watching Rebel Sundays every Sunday here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So cheers for sitting in the picture, Audrey. I'm sure you're all well chuffed to have the wee one in the house. So congratulations to all the family. Right. So by the way, just the wee post that was put up about Maeve, more or less saying, listen, make great show today, but even though you did shit on my fiancée Maeve, from the get, listen, it wasn't a case of I shit on her. Do you know what I mean? I asked Maeve to come on the show at time, and I don't think there was an ulterior motive bring her on, definitely not. But to me, obviously listening to a lot of her sort of live streams, she gained her more or less her massive following by singing like Rebel songs every single week. And then as soon as she got this massive following and released her album, there wasn't one single Rebel song on it, and has barely sung a Rebel song since. I mean, since she got this big following, and now she's getting all these gigs. And fair play to the girl, has an amazing voice, she's a brilliant artist, so she is. But I was just putting these questions to her in the interview, more or less saying, listen, do you not really think that you've used a lot of the sort of songs of our volunteers by sort of singing them in your live streams just to get this big following? And then you've released this album to sell the CDs, and maybe a lot of people are expecting that to be a full Rebel album and stuff. And that's what I was asking her. It definitely wasn't like, oh, I shit on her at all. I suppose that's maybe the way it was looked like. That's the way I was sort of told. Oh, you got that wee girl on their false pretenses, blah blah, and you basically done this and that when you had her on the show. She had a brilliant interview. Don't get me wrong, it was very good, and she's going to go on and have a fabulous career. But for me, it was just a bit of at the time, I still thought she's a bit of a fraud when it came to playing Rebel music, because Maeve definitely isn't a Rebel artist at all, so she isn't, and she'll not sing hardly any Rebel songs at her gigs. So the whole thing of doing weeks and weeks and weeks of these sort of live Rebel feeds, they get this big following, people to follow you, they give you tips and donations and all that stuff, whatever. And then once lockdown's finished, oh, I'm not a Rebel artist anymore, I don't sing Rebel songs, don't know nothing about Rebel songs, this kind of thing. And that's what I was getting at. So I definitely don't think it was a case of a shit on your fiancé, mate. If that's the way I'd seen, I sort of, well, I'll say apologies. I'm not going to apologise for getting her on and asking her the questions I sort of need asked. Do you know what I mean? But that is just what happened. So, these made me aim with blank. I've got to try and find a song from the Barley Corn now. So if you give me 2 seconds, let's see. There we go. Right, so you just asked for anyone down there, so let's see what we're going to do. We'll do actually My Last Farewell, because I know I think it's Anne Marie always asked for it, so she does. So it's a great track here. That's Stefan playing there still on Spotify. So we'll do this one here. It's the Barley Corn with My Last Farewell on Rebel Sundays, folks.
Dearest mother, I am writing just to say I won't be home. There's something that I have to do, and I must do alone. They took me and they put me in this lonely prison cell. Tonight my thoughts are with you as I say my last farewell. So say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget and me all. I have no words to tell you how much I'll miss you all. And though I may not show it, you know I've loved you well. So in my final letter, I will bid my last farewell. Dearest brother, won't you take good care of all the folks for me? Go home to Rathfarnham, a On the day they set you free, I was happy when you stood by me in all that we've been through. No one has ever had so true a brother such as you. So say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget and me all. I have no words to tell you how much I'll miss you all. And though I may not show it, you know I've loved you well. So in my final letter, I will bid my last farewell. Dearest mother, it's so very sad that now we have to part. To understand the reasons will trouble your poor heart. I have told you since I was a boy, it was my destiny to die a true brave soldier, so that one day you'd be free. So say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget and me all. I have no words to tell you how much I'll miss you all. And though I may not show it, you know I've loved you well. So in my final letter,
There we go.
I will bid my
That's the sound of the Barleycorn with My Last Farewell. Especially there for Dan Byrne. How many else for you now? Of course, I think it was Anne-Marie was asking for My Last Farewell. So a great old version of that song. I suppose we are getting into a lot of the Easter songs now. We come up with the next few shows. That one, of course, the last song, the last letter written to his mother from Patrick Pierce. So it was. So I was talking about Easter songs. We'll do a song now. From Derek Warfield. Obviously, Derek is over in America at the minute, turning things up. Obviously, looking there at Eddie's, who for such a young kid, Eddie Kieran, he's just living the dream. So fair play to him. Like he's over there, like touring America with an absolute legend of a man, like obviously in Damaris and all the rest of the guys in the band as well, like, but no better a mentor to basically be growing up and playing in a rebel band and building your sort of confidence up on stage. So this is Derek Warfield, folks, here with Oro Shiravaha. So we're going to be getting a lot of the Easter songs, dropping them in over the next that would have been one of them there, that My Last Farewell. So this one here definitely sort of falls into that category as well. So folks, if any more requests you have and you've asked me to play some songs, ask me again, because I'm not, the list of comments is so long there, you have to fill them all again. So don't be thinking, oh, he's just being rude, he doesn't want to play my song. So there is certain songs people ask for each week, and I'll sort of go like, just don't fancy playing that, you know what I mean? So although I sort of clam me classes like, oh, you're a juke being a bloody, like a rebel jukebox, the show, but there's still sort of some songs that just maybe just mightn't want to play for some reason, I mean, whatever. Maybe just don't float my boat or whatever. But if there's songs you ask for and I haven't played it, just put it back in the comments again and I'll try and get it on. Right, so this is Derek Warfield here, folks, with Oro Shiravaha, and then we're going to do Derek's song next for the Dogs of War. Plus, we're going to be talking about the Big Fans Gathering, let you know what the crack that it is. Hopefully, we'll be in a position to start advertising it in the next week or so. Because, I hope it hasn't bit me in the arse, sort of recommending this here, Dan Steeden. Because, obviously, his gig being maybe so close to mine. I'm hoping I'm still going to get mine to sort of sell out, like, with a bit of luck. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Here we go. This is Derek Warfield, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
Bandarin Babay Agrak the Avian Kuhidra, he shall up their Lord. It's the deal to Lish Nagala. Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Anisha Haptan Tauri. We'll let the back go beckon. Wanna maybe oh in the shot and gran you will his meal a gosh ek forward fine a goal Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Anisha Haptan Tauri. Gran you will chaktar saria ogrigar mahalle morgada quailit fain we fanky haspani it's a rugat there nagal Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Anisha Haptan Tauri, Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Oro Shidava Walia, Anisha Haptan Tauri.
On the Derek there, Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones with Oh Rush of Ahawalya. Great as always. Always brilliant production, nothing less with those guys what they put out. Brilliant there. Yeah, we'll have another 45 minutes left to go of the day's show. Right, so let's see what we're saying in the comments. Kayla says, could I play Emer with George and Pop? Emer's actually never recorded this here, so there isn't. It's not on any of our albums. She will play it at their gigs, but there isn't a recording of it. So I am going to play Emer and Anya singing Maria Farrell for you. I'll do it out there after Derek's song here next. Kayla, I hope you're happy with that one. So obviously talking about the big fans gathering, folks. So it definitely going to be is happening on. Let's see. On Saturday the 2nd of December. This year, and it's going to be in West Belfast. So say I have booked the venue, and all I say is fingers crossed that there's going to be no issues with it. I'm just have to wait till they get back to me to make sure everything is 100% confirmed. Because as far as I know, there's going to be a bit of works going on in the place. So it is, and the hall that potentially it's going to be in is going to be all renovated before the gig. So which will even be better, actually, a brand new function room. So it will for the gig to take place in. So hopefully I'll be in a position in the next week or so to find it. That's definitely going to be on. And then I'll start advertising the gig and I'll start advertising the bands. But all I can say is, folks, get your flights and all hotels booked because it's definitely happening. And we're going to be doing obviously the live podcast, like the after show party the next day as well on Sunday the 3rd. So all I can say is it's going to be 3 acts. Okay, so two bands, 1 solo singer plus myself. So it's 4 acts altogether for this year's Big Fans Gathering, folks. I think we definitely needed to up the game a wee bit this year, so it's definitely happening. So it's going to be 2nd and 3rd of December. So the main gig is going to be on Saturday the 2nd of December. It is going to be in West Belfast, and so hopefully I can release the venue and the full details very, very soon with you. Just seen Derek said that they're going to be staying in the Europa, so they are. For good ideas, but I think the kids have got is it. Very nice. That's one of the many jobs I used to work in that place with it, and not great memories of working in the Europa, I have to say. Handy for a taxi? Definitely not handy for a taxi. See if anybody's ever tried to, on a Saturday night, especially in West Belfast, to get a taxi. from some of the venues, never mind get a taxi into the city centre. It's an absolute nightmare, so it is. So good luck with that there. We'll see what happens. But I know there is a lot of hotels close to where the gig is going to be taking place. Obviously, you have the budget hotels. You have the Ibis, I think where big Johan stayed last year. Then you have a couple of the Holiday Inns, the Premier Inns in the city centre. Then there's the Beach Lawns, which is not far actually from the Devonish, where Aidan's big gig is happening. And then the Balmoral as well, which, listen, although they still sort of shitted on me for last year's gig, it's still a pretty decent hotel to stay in. It's in the middle of West Belfast. So I know there's a few people have already booked into there, so they have. So definitely, folks, so say get your flights booked, get your boats booked, your trains, wherever you're going to, get them booked. The tickets will be on sale, I'd say, hopefully by the end of March. And then we can get really, really promoting this gig. So it's going to be the Big Fans Gathering weekend, 2nd and 3rd of December this year in West Belfast. So hopefully going to see a few of you there. Obviously, Derek and all who missed last year's show because of the mess up, it'll be great to see you again. So it will. So, right, this is for Derek. This one he was looking for Gary O with the Dogs of War. So say this here is from his album, recorded live in, hold on a second, where am I? It's recorded live in Australia a lot of years ago. He recorded with Coach and some other guy. It's on drums. And apparently, so Troubadour Music, who's like his agents out in Australia, the album and the MP3 or something, the album was lost. And then a couple of years ago, they found it. So they did. And obviously, Gary got it back. And Chris Cruikshank, a lot of you'll know from the Wakes and stuff, is the main man in Scotland for doing any sort of recording for any Rebel album. He got the album, brought it out, and reproduced it, and done a great job of it. So the album's called I Believe in You. Check it out on Spotify, folks. It's an absolutely phenomenal album, so it is. So this Norse song was written by Declan McLaughlin, called Dogs of War. Brilliant tune. So and sort of every time I see Gary, I always say, play out their song. You definitely don't do it enough. It's a cracking tune. And sometimes you go, but I couldn't sing it. I don't even can't remember the words to it. One of them ones and I'll not sing it. He says the odd gigger will say, I'll go do it their song night, so I'll look up the words and stuff for it. Obviously, because Gary wouldn't be one for standing on a stage with like notes in front of him, or whatever, I mean, or words. So that'll be the reasons. Here we go. Derek, this one's for you, mate. Dogs of War from Gary Ogan, Rebel Sundays.
Tear gas burns the eyes of the children in the war, and the lords of mass destruction rub their hands and call for more, and the never-ending line of martyrs plan to seat inside their heads, and they take the place in the line of war for which they have been bred. And the dogs of war, and the dogs of war are gone. To give us, our laws will try and take, like a family cursed and beaten at their only daughter's wake. And the words of mass collusion take the place of liberty, and blind the eyes of the learned men so the nation cannot see. And the dogs of war, and the dogs of war are gone, and on, and on, and on, and on, and on, and on. Of Cregan, the Bogside and the Falls, their cancer-ridden henchmen are waiting on the call, and the streets run red with the working blood as they have done before. But we cannot call on a learned man, for they can see no more. And the dogs of war, and the dogs of war are gone. Face of a nation and a people born to weep, as 14 unknown victims they lay butchered on the street, and the gentle sound of leather rebounding off of speech is a far cry from the rules they played to the murder on the streets. And the dogs of war, the dogs of war are gone and on, on and on, and on and on, and on and on.
There we go, Gary Ogler. Will you stop talking about goats because you're going to get me in trouble? So you are. I have enough bloody trouble talking about goats. So but ridiculous situation, ridiculous situation. That was Gary Ogler with Dogs of War, especially for Derek, that one. Right, so we're fastly approaching the end of the day's show. 35 minutes so left to go. Let's see, Dan Byrne, yeah, great song from Gary indeed. What do you think? That looks like a cat, is it? First time hearing the cat singing this. Love it. Iona, for God, Jesus Christ, here we go. Flights and hotels all booked for it, row. Surprise, surprise indeed, Iona. I told you last week, you just move over here and get a job teaching some poor kids over here. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. You might actually make them to work on a Monday morning and see you, mate. Rather than phoning in to work sick like you did last Monday. Imagine missing your flight and all home. Like, Jesus, that's brutal because you're too drunk. Let's see. Audrey, all booked up for December. Happy days, missus. That's what I like to see. Great. Say, folks, just like we're talking to Kieran there in the interview. It really heartens me to see this here. And obviously, we're talking about the gathering for December. And this would be the third one now, like, and still to see all you still wanting to come back and go to it and meet up and all. It really is just, I just got a real buzz out of it. So thank you to all of you. Much appreciated. Right, so we're talking about for Kayla, she was looking a bit at Emer. So say she hasn't recorded, never seen a cat with horns on. Oh, it looks on my screen here. So it does, see what I say there? It looks like a cat. Maybe it's just up close, but it's maybe it's a goat. I can't see. It looks like a cat to me, so it does. But I don't know. Yeah, so she was looking for Georgian pop from Emer. She hasn't recorded the song, so I can't really play it. But obviously there may be an old video knocking about of her singing it at a gig or something. But I don't really like doing them songs because the quality isn't great. So we're going to do one from Emer's album, Leaving the Rock. Which seems like it was recorded years away now, which probably was actually a few years ago. So this is one that was recorded with her sister Anya, who it's very rare you'll see her singing with the Irish Brigade now. It's one of the gigs she does do. It should be an honour, great to see her playing because she has an amazing voice. So this is the ballad of Mairead Farrell. So it is beautifully sung by both the girls. So here we go, and we'll play Georgian pop for you as well. Okay, I'll just try and dig it out here now and get a different version right there.
I'm going to slow it down with a ballad this time of a local woman here from West Belfast, great Irish Republican who died in Gibraltar with Sean Savage and Daniel McCann. It's the ballad of Mairead Farrell.
Oh, do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not see. Oh, do not stand at my grave and cry when Ireland lives. I do not die. A woman's place is not at home. The fight for freedom, it still goes on. Oh, I took up my gun onto Freedom's Day. I pledged to fight for the eye of at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Oh, do not stand at my grave and cry when Ireland lives. I do not die. In Armagh's jails I spent my time. Strip searches were a British crime. Oh, degraded me, but they could not see I suffered this to set Ireland free. So do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Oh, do not stand at my grave and cry when Ireland lives. I do not die. Gibraltar's rock, the place I died. McCann and Savage were by my side, and I heard the order rang loud and shrill of Thatcher's voice, saying shoot to kill. So do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Oh, do not stand at my grave and cry when Ireland lives. I do not die. So do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Oh, do not stand at my grave and cry when Ireland lives. I do not die. When Ireland lives, I do not die.
Memory of Reid Farrell, Sean Savage and Daniel McCann.
There you go. That's sort of Emer and Anya there from the Rock Bar with the ballad of Mairead Farrell. What was going on there? So Marty, does this see? Right, hold on a second. You're very funny, Dan, aren't you? You're hilarious. Let's see. Marty says, in the interest of equality, who's the goatess of the Reb? The grotesque or the goatess? What do you mean by that there? Of the Reb scene? So just to be, and I'm not going to get into that conversation, by the way. A female goat is called a nanny or a doe, and a male goat is called a buck. So it is. So there you go. But I have sort of obviously made my feelings known about like who I basically think that there is believe would be the GOAT and stuff. I mean, and best singer in my view. And obviously, some people didn't like that. There, like that opinion. But here, what can you do? It's only an opinion. But that's why obviously all these wee goats and all are coming in there and stuff. And a lot of people have been texting me and ringing me and saying like, fair play. That's a disgrace what happened to you and all this here. That's just out of order. What was said and all blah blah blah. It's only your opinion, all this shit. So it's that's the whole thing. When you can't have an opinion these days, where the free speech is going out the window, like. So it is. What Dan said, thanks for the nature lesson. Not a problem. There you go. Don't have to tune in the David Attenborough. Actually, you don't. Dan says it was Roe when he tried to grow one. Mate, that was a low blow there. So it was like, I told you I had to shave it off. It was going well. I had to shave it off, but believe me, egg every morning for my breakfast and work kept getting stuck on the beard. So that's why I shaved it off. It just wasn't very nice at all to deal with. So it wasn't. So yeah. Right, so next tune we're going to do is Georgian Pop from Marty Higgins. So I think Marty's actually out in America at the minute, so as far as I know. He's going to be doing the whole bit of the scene, St. Patrick's, leading up to St. Patrick's week, and then he's hitting straight back over to Santa Ponsa to do their right through till November. What a man, like. So here we go. We're going to do from Marty's album, Lullabies and Battle Cries. This is the Ballad of Georgian Pop that Kayla had asked for there. So obviously Emer didn't record it. She hasn't recorded it, so we'll do this one. Another great version of this here. So I always like the way Marty, like a lot of these songs, he'll do a wee bit of talking beforehand. He'll tell you what the song's about, who it's about, and whatever and stuff. So check him out, folks, on Spotify. Marty's both albums are there. Marty Higgins, Rule of Honor, and Lullabies and Battle Cries. So this is Marty singing the Ballad of Georgian Pop on Rebel Sundays, folks.
On the slopes of the Cragan, one morning in May, four lads left their base, their hearts young and gay. Their cause was for freedom, a cause undenied, and that foreign oppressor they tried to defy. While patrolling our streets, they met with the foe, and with guns at the ready, our lads had a go. So we raised up our hands, and we'll curse that British hand, who tore out the very hearts of men who dared to cross their path. But my heart was torn in two. Won't you please tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. Now the whole place went silent when the shitting died down. Two young lads lay dead on the streets of our town. Another two lives lost for the ongoing fight, and in Derry were mourned in that very night. But so we raise up our hands, and we'll curse that British hand who tore out the very hearts of men who dared to cross their path. But my heart is torn in two. Won't you please tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. Now Georgie and Pop, they like old stone. They died fighting for Derry, their own native home. So always remember and don't ever forget they died fighting for Ireland. We owe them a debt. But so we'll raise up our hands and we'll curse that British hand who torn out the very hearts of men who dared to cross their path. But my heart is torn in two. Won't you please tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. So we'll raise up our hands and we'll curse that British hand who torn out the very hearts of men who dared to cross their path. But my heart is torn in two. Won't you please tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. George McBurdy, Charlie Pup Maguire.
There you go, it's Marty Higgins there from his album Lullabies. That almost didn't come out there. His album Lullabies and Battle Cries. That is the Battle of George and Pop. Right, folks, last 20 minutes of the show today for you. And I see a few has made scene there that Mr. Spanner, as you see, Martin Heaney was blocked for 5 minutes. So he was. I wonder who that could have been. Somebody put him on a timeout. All I can say, Marty, is my spanner's bigger than yours, right? So only your shit, and it's you'll be getting a spanner wrapped around your other side of knuckles in 5 minutes' time. All right. So Ireland's winning 8-7, are they? There we go. Terry says, "Bye everyone. Hopefully get my YouTube fixed for the next show." What's wrong with your YouTube? Why is it not working for? Is it like something up with it, or what's the crack? How does your YouTube break? Where's this here? The Foggy Dew. So that's me a question. We'll do this here one for Mick. Last I seen was 8-7 to Ireland. There surely they must be on now for for the Six Nations. So there must be. Mick Donnelly says, any chance you could play Raymond McCresh by the Foggy Dew? Just go do it now if you just found it there on Spotify. So that's we'll do that. That's it. Oh, you've just moved house. Right, okay, no problem. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of Foggy Dew. I take it that's a band there. They aren't going anymore, are they not? From because I remember when I interviewed Shebeen way back in the early days when I was doing the original audio only podcast, they were talking about the Foggy Dew. It was one of the bands that were sort of on the scene whenever they were sort of first starting out. So they were so this is we'll do this one here now. This is for Mick sorry. Where are you? Mick Donnelly over there on Cope Bridge from the Cope Bridge Republican massive all he is one of the best towns in Scotland. So it is all I can say they're a bit like Ardoyne, surrounded by cream buns. So they are a bit come when they're a parade. The whole place is littered with basically not say littered. They have the whole basically the main street covered in tricolours and all, and the bunting and all. It's great, so it is. But over a few times with a flute band, just great people, so it is. So this is for you, Mick. This one's the Ball of Rain McCreesh from the Foggy Dew on Rebel Sunday. Still here to 4 o'clock, folks. For another 15 minutes to go.
The words of the song I wrote one day sadly. May 81, a bird sang from a tree, and I knew it was free by the sweetness of its tune. As I stood at Raymond's funeral that rainy afternoon. Raymond McCreesh, that brave Irish boy, once again Britain stole mother's joy. Will the cruelty ever stop? Will they ever see
Men like young Raymond were born to be free. Raymond was captured in an ambush one day as he fought for his country with a bold IRA. Arrested and beaten, then long years in jail, then on hunger strike suffered for 61 days. His friends inside prison sadly knew what he meant when before Raymond died, this last note he sent. My dear friends, I fear I'll be home before you. The right of my country, this thing I must do. His hometown of Camelot was proud of his name, and Armagh will not let his death be in vain. So young men of Ireland, do what you can. Let Raymond inspire you to fight for your land. Raymond McCree, that brave Irish boy, once again Britain has stolen mother's joy. Will cruelty ever stop? Oh, they ever see? Men like young Raymond were born to be free.
Yeah, it's about the Raymond McCree there, folks, from the Foggy Dew. So I just you can see on the screen here, folks, if you are watching enjoying the show today and you are watching it, just drop us a wee tip or a donation, whatever. So it does help to keep the show going as you are now. So it's not cheap to keep the hit bothering this on, but it isn't freebie to keep this here show going, folks. A lot of stuff has to be paid out to keep this going in the sort of format we have now, the sort of studio sort of software and professionalism we have. So it is a fair bit. So a lot of you do send me a donation every single week, every show, and you all know how much you appreciate it. So thank you. So if you are watching and you want to send something, you can send it through Revolut. Just scan the wee QR code there, or by PayPal. Scan the wee QR code with your phone, it'll bring you straight to the link, and you can send there as little as much as you can, folks. So cheers. Right, you're building. Oh, right, okay, that's what it was. Valerie, just seen it. I didn't know what song was you sent me through to play. Right, so next one we're going to do here is a bit of Kelly's Men. I'm getting into the last day, maybe. We'll maybe go over a wee bit over 4 o'clock today, because obviously I didn't start the dead on after 1. I know these viewers were crying about it, like, you know what I mean, today. So we'll do that there. We'll play maybe about 4 songs here for you, just to keep us all happy, you know what I mean? Right, so it's a bit of Kelly's Men with No Time for Love.
They call it the law, we call it internment, apartheid, partition, conscription, and silence. It's the law that they use to keep you and me where they think we belong. They hide behind steel with bulletproof glass, machine guns and spies. And to tell us who suffered the tear gas torture waiting to wrong. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears about fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is a cry of the morning. They suffered the torture
rotted in cells. He went crazy, wrote letters and died. And the limits of pain he endured, it was loneliness got them instead. And the courts gives them to justice as given by well-mannered thugs. And sometimes they fought for the will to survive, and most times just to wish they were dead. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears about fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sound of the siren is the cry of the morning, they came for young Francis Hughes and his cousin Thomas McElway as well. Like they came for Patsy O'Hara, Tony Taylor and some of their friends. In Boston, Chicago, Saigon, San Diego, Palestine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bogota, Derry and Belfast. And those places they never made headlines, this never ends. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears about fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. And the sun of the siren is the cry of the morning. To your sisters and brothers, the world if I each on. For they say you get used to the war, and that doesn't mean that this war isn't on. For the fish need the sea to survive, like your people need you. And those death squads can only get through to them if history can't get through to you. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning, no time to show tears about fears in the morning, no time for goodbye, no time to ask why. And the sun of the siren, sun of the siren, sun of the siren is the cry of the morning.
There we go. Kelly's Men there, folks, with No Time for Love. Phenomenal off their album there, Live at the Crescent Bar. Check it out, it's on Spotify as well. I think it's on YouTube as well. Brilliant. As you know, that's probably the most played album on this show. Just sort of shows you what I think of that band. They're phenomenal. And great that I've done a few gigs with them over the last few years. But so cheers again to Sears Promotions for getting me involved with them. Much appreciated, lads. And lady, sorry, Kate, I know you're holding the fort here back while Michael's swanning off around America, so he is with Kieran Davenport. It's lucky for some, isn't it? Right, what do we have here left in the last few songs today? Are you heading on, Derek, or what? Right, so see, Kayla actually sent us a PM there now. She says, Ro, just got a new mascot for the show. So this is Kayla's new Doug. Obviously, I don't really know, I call dogs just Dougs. I think it's so funny when I'm watching Still Game. Ever since I watched it, I just call dogs now Dougs. Because I know like Scottish people call a dog a Doug. Not like a dog, they call it a Doug. But it's one of them things. Here, so it's not a great picture, but you can see it sitting on the fireplace here. What kind of, is that like a wee shih tzu or something? It looks like it's taking a shit in my face. So it does on the screen there, so it does, Kayla. So that's Kayla's new Doug, Rebel, just calling it. So there you go. That's Rebel the Doug. Watching Rebel podcast up in Twimrook there. So cheers, fair play to you. Great to have another new member. So we have a new baby watching the show today now, and a new Doug as well called Rebel. So the listenership is growing week on week. So cheers to you all. Right, so I got this here request through from Valerie, and I'm going to play it now. And I think it's very, very important to remember this here. Obviously, with everything that's happening in Ukraine and all, folks, where people have been sidetracked a lot about what is happening in Palestine, and like basically them people are still getting bombed on a daily basis, getting basically ripped and pillaged by the Israeli army on a daily basis, and there's not a word said about it in the world's media, and it definitely needs to be highlighted and kept in the media. So Valerie asked me to play this here song, You're Built in the Wall by the Wicks. So great tune, original track written by him. So we'll do this here song and then one more to finish up the show today. So Valerie and Derek, this one Spicy Fusions. This is the Wicks with You're Built in the Wall.
They're building a wall between friends, a wall that justifies any means for their ends, a wall between Semites, rich and poor, brothers and sisters from not so long before. Many feet thick and 20 feet high. No one can look through it and into the eye of a person you might know, to whom you might confide. Now just a stranger on the other side. They're building a wall between water and land, so we can eat fruit and they can eat sand. A wall to make sure that our orchards will grow and our kids can get fat and not need to know of the cities in ruins and the children in fear, that your fathers and brothers in tanks might be near. A wall to keep quiet that in which you fear most, so you don't have to listen to your grandfather's ghost. They're building a wall between your future and past, a wall to keep separate the chambers of gas from bulldozers, gunships, and the tears of a child. Indignity, law, and order defiled. To remove reality from your facts on the ground, a wall to keep distance that terrible sounds of the houses that crumble and the children that die. A wall to keep separate the truth from the lie. They're building a wall, and at such a cost. Land, money and safety, and all the lives lost. A wall made of brick, but bricks can be broken when the people of Zion have finally awoken and said no more walls, no more refugees, no more keeping people upon their knees. And then the history books, it'll someday record
Yeah, it's from the Wakes here, folks, with You're Built in the Wall. Original track from the lads, from the band there, from over in Glasgow. Phenomenal. And say, that there, it's only on YouTube, so go and actually check. I'm just watching the video from it here now, but obviously I can't play the video on the screen. But go and watch the video for it, folks. Brilliant, well, not brilliant video, but very sort of heartbreaking video to watch about what's going on in Palestine at the minute. So cheers to Valerie for asking for that song. I say, because it's with all the shit that's happening in Ukraine at the minute and these other things happening around the world, the sort of the thing has been took off what's happening in Palestine at the minute. I mean, and it's still going on a lot every day and every night, and something severely needs done and needs to be sort of kept in the media to let the world see. I mean, the BBC isn't going to tell you what literally is going on in Palestine. They're quite happy to put Gary Lineker out for for saying his own busy views on what the British government are doing, but they'll keep Alan Sugar in a job. This bloody stupid after what the complete racist tweet he put out a couple of years ago. I think it was about the Cameroon football team, and just blatant racist, and not a word was said, and he wasn't forced to resign or put out by any members of the British government, so he wasn't. But yeah, right, so this is we'll finish up with this here song here, and I want to finish up with something fun, folks, for you. So played this here at Callie's party the other night. It was Byrne Crack, one of the wee girls, I think she's related to Peter, I think maybe it's Callie's partner's sister or something. She was over, and so she asked me, she wanted to do Kinky Boots in the karaoke, and I didn't have the words for it, so basically just played the song, and she was busy singing over the microphone. Very funny. I think half the words she didn't know. She was just busy singing the choruses, but all the rest of the crowd that was there was really, really lapping it up. It was good crack. So we're going to finish up with a bit of the Irish Brigade and Kinky Boots, because it's a real just feel good, funny song, and as Jerry calls them, they're his hysterical song. So it's obviously a bit of history behind it, but it's quite comical as well. So Jerry Glacken's words, these songs here are his hysterical songs. So and then we're going to finish up as well with Oi, with Around the Vein at the end of the tune, as Marty says. So thank you to you all, folks. So we're going to be back on the 26th with Kev O'Driscoll. So looking forward to having Kev on the show. So obviously we'll be pushing this here. So for next Sunday, happy Mother's Day to you as all. Happy Grandmother's Day as well. And obviously from my mom Kate, my mother-in-law Maria, and my sister Anya, and my wife Laura as well. So happy Mother's Day to you all. Have a good St. Patrick's weekend, folks, whatever you're up to. Be safe. Don't be getting too drunk. I know that's probably like talking silly or a lot of unions like don't need an excuse to get too drunk. But so I'll be in the Rock bar next Friday, St. Patrick's Day, from 3:30 to 6:30, and then it's looking like I'm going to be up in Cookstown. So it'll be told the full details on St. Paddy's night, a wee late night gig for you. So I'll see you at 1 a.m, folks. If not, enjoy what you're doing, and I'll be back on the 26th. So that's the last song of the day, folks, of today's show, called Play by the Irish Brigade, the Irish Brigade, and Kinky Boots. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
So here we go again this time, folks, with a wee song I know you can all sing along and maybe even dance along to. This is a song actually got into the charts for us. I do believe a reliable source told me it got to number 3 in Cambodia.
That's Cambodia, by the way.
Oh, right, somewhere around there, but I couldn't read it. The man said that's what it said on the internet, so fair play to them. It's a wee song called Kinky Boots. I drove my Saracen through your garden last night. I kicked your front door down around at midnight. Something's telling me, boy, you're avoiding me. And when I find you, you will go for your tea. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely turkey suit. And when we go on night patrol, we'll hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. My good friend Neville, he's in the RUC. I see. But now they've handed him his redundancy. I see. Folks along the border won't be seeing him anymore. That provost sniper will be missing him for sure. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. My good friend Andy, he's in the UDR, searching for weapons. He will go near and far. Up around by Kappa, you'd never find him there. The only gun he'd get there is an Armalite in his ear. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. My good friend Nigel, he's in the SAS.
Oh yes, oh yes.
He said a change is just as good as a rest. Now they've gone and posted him way down to Cross McGlen. He wishes to blazes he was back in jail again. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. Wee verse for Sammy Wilson, Sammy the Streaker from the DUP. My good friend Sammy, he's in the DUP, an outstanding member, as all the world can see. I said, go up to Donegal if you want to have some fun. He said, I'll take a run there if I have nothing on. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. Another wee verse for poor old Johnny Mad Dog there, and the Sea Cat Company. My good friend Johnny, he's left the UDA. He said he'd prefer the LVF any day. Calling all his friends now, getting ready for a fight. He's made an appointment to meet Billy Wright. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. First verse again, let's see you singing that. Here we go. I drove my Saracen through your garden last night. I kicked your front door down around at midnight. Something's telling me, boy, you're avoiding me. And when I find you, you will go for your tea. Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots. I've got a lovely new black jacket and a lovely khaki suit. And when we go on night patrol, we hold each other's hands. Oh, we are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. We are the British Army, and we're here to take your land. Oh yes, we are.
And that they did. Right, folks, that's us. Again, thank you very much. Cheers to all the tips and donations today. Much appreciated, as always. So, back on the 26th of March with Kev O.D. See you all then. Say happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you all for next Sunday as well. Hope you all get spoiled rotten. So, see you all 2 weeks' time. We're going to finish up, as always, with Around the Vein. And don't forget, as Marty says, at the end of Around the Vein, don't forget to go, oi! Whenever the podcast theme tune kicks in. So see you all in 2 weeks, folks. Thank you very much.
a fina at safi alligator Queens ourselves our tender rannicum they watch face hair Shantir a shun share pasta the akbar pantera not and gods I in sabar well they gone their hell and was no sell they gone their scrape they labak na bile Charlotte cannon around the veil. Thanks very much, good night, God bless you all. Chucky Allah, we'll be back again Sunday night. See you then, cheers.
You have been listening to Rebel Podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this, past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We are also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel Podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin is an fád cruúlaí Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siúifical soin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuisiilta. Ní mór ditch ach fád cruúlaí Rebel a curda.
And just for you, Marty, I literally, I was actually an accident to her, so it was. I didn't do it on purpose, so I let the Rogue anthem play on too long. So just for you, Marty, here we go. There we go. Oi, right. See you all next week, folks. Thank you.